Hey, it is Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. X, make sure you subscribe on YouTube in particular so you don't miss any of the show. Nice not to have the wig in the crowd on today, I must be honest. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about the Wittizens still. But
oh, yes, we're going to talk about that in a second. But yeah. I just mean we actually have headphones on this week. You know? You're not scratching your scalp throughout the whole show because of the
constantly
wig.
taking it off in between breaks in order to make it work. Plus, the video stream people get an extra treat today. You get Evil Alex, or whatever version you want to say.
Who is this sitting in his chair? Hang on a second.
He's got a hat on, which he very rarely wears. Not never, but very rarely wears a hat. And a goatee. Yeah. He's got a... And by the way, of all things, I told Alex before, I think the beard looks very good. I think it's a good look for him. I'm not saying he's like a monster, but I would not be like, Alex, keep the goatee, man.
No, the goatee
looks
is not
cool. I think you should definitely keep it. No. I would be tricking you into making you look a fool if I thought that, because it doesn't fit your
It's
vibe.
such a different personality and vibe. No, the only reason why this was not shaved from yesterday, we're going to talk about the Wittizens event, which was a ton of fun, and it was awesome. That's obviously why I have the goatee, but no, you and I made a mistake. We were going to be out. We knew they were going to be out there for a while. Neither one of us brought sunscreen. We were stupid in that regard. So
usually pretty good about that too.
And today the face is not as red, although my knees are like bright red. But I was worried if I shaved the goatee last night, there'd be like a white outline goatee. So I'm waiting for the redness to go down a little bit. So maybe you'll get one more day of this, and then I'm going to shave the goatee. No, this is definitely not sticking. And then the hat, I'm like, you know what? The goatee, the hat just fits with the goatee. It's a different vibe. So I'll wear the hat. I never wear a hat.
You look like you're getting ready to go to Raw tonight. Like Alex, just like he's got a whole different energy.
He's going home to mow
it.
the grass and drink a cold one after, and then he's going to go to the event. Yes.
Yeah, someone said Stone Cold Steve Alex. He's getting ready to slam 2 beers together.
It is such a, trust me, this is such a different vibe. And if you had never met me before, like how you view my personality would be completely different based on this facial.
Yeah, your initial would be like, what do I think about this person? I would definitely think differently about you.
The goatee screams Dale Earnhardt Jr. from 2002. All you need is a couple of, you're a Budweiser drinker with that goatee. I think,
Don't drink that light nonsense.
Yeah.
For the girls is what he said, like that's how Alex's energy
is. The theme on the text line is Cody and Paisley. Drew thinks I look like Brad Paisley today if I had a cowboy hat.
Dusty came out and mentioned it, and I can't get that out of my head now.
And then someone else said just like a younger, skinnier Bink if I had some shoe and just started talking.
It does feel like you should have, your jeans should have just like a permanent ring indentation based on the fact that you've always got your can of dip on you.
Spit cup next to me. But,
it's a different vibe. It really is a different vibe.
Yeah, I sent a photo to my sisters, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they're like, "You got to shave that now." Like this has to be.
But it would be way worse if you just had a weird white outline where the goatee is.
Exactly. That's why I kept it for today. But the whole reason why this is a thing, and why we obviously were wearing the crown and wearing the Bobby Mullet wigs yesterday, of course, has been for the Wittizens. We launched that last week. We had our launch event yesterday, and I don't think we could have found a better lookalike, period, in the entire country, I would say, for Bollywood Jr. So thanks again to the Royals and Major League Baseball officially sanctioning this fan club. Obviously, want to thank Dewan and Justin, the 2 barbers who were out there yesterday doing real haircuts, okay? Dewan from Purple Label, who cuts Bobby's hair, and Patrick Mahomes' hair. Like, it was legit. Like, people out there got some great haircuts, too. Even if you didn't win the lookalike contest or you didn't enter. But if you haven't checked social media, you have to look, guys, on our station Twitter accounts, Facebook, whatever, you name it, obviously our personal accounts as well. Nate Miller is the gentleman's name that we met. Super nice guy, great family. We had a chance to talk with him throughout the day because he won the Crown Club tickets and a signed bat from Bobby and a signed jersey. But he looks like his brother, like his older brother. I mean, he looks just like Bobby Wood Jr. It was crazy. There were kids, I felt bad, kids going up to him asking for his autograph. They thought it was Bobby.
Jonathan India confirmed that he thought he looked like him. His barber, the guy from Purple Label they were just talking about, Dewan, FaceTimed Salvador Perez and said, "Who does this guy look like?" And Salvi was in agreement. From a look-alike contest perspective, I felt bad for every other person who signed up. And I'll be honest, I think the sign-ups slowed dramatically after he had entered. Like, we had a good, steady pace of people entering the contest. Other people were just getting haircuts or getting the wigs or everything else. And then he entered, and everyone was like, oh my God. So Nate, yeah, I mean, he looks like Bobby's slightly, like, older brother. That's it. That's all it is. He looks so, like, the hair is pretty close. The build is not that far off. He looks athletic.
Yeah, it was legit. I mean, dead ringer, doppelganger, whatever you want to call it, for Bobby yesterday. But thanks so much to everybody that came out. I mean, we had some people, as you said, Cody, if it wasn't for him, it would have been very, very close and a very, very close competition. It just was, there was no way that guy was not winning. And ironically enough, he was contestant number 7. I mean, it was a perfect thing.
I mean, it just fits a little bit. He was wearing the Chinook Seedery shirt, so like Bobby's sunflower seed brand. Like, so rather than just do the jersey, he's just like dressed walking around like Bobby Wood Jr. It was crazy. We asked Jonathan India in the middle of the game. And Jonathan and India were like, hey, man, does he look like Bobby? He's like, yeah, he does look like Bobby. Like when a loose foul ball got nearby, he slid a foul ball underneath for his kid and stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy. Honestly, it was crazy that he looked that much like him. I imagine we're going to have to involve him in future Wittizens events.
I think so.
If we've just got a Bobby Wood Jr. lookalike at our disposal, it feels like we got to ask Nate to show up for something else again. He did make a point, and this is smart of Nate, I'll say. As a person who I imagine is in a very healthy relationship, he wanted to make sure we knew. Mm-hmm. And that we pointed out on the air today, so I want to say it now before we get into some other baseball specific and Trey Smith stuff. He's like, you have got to say that my wife was the real hero of the day. Because here's Nate's day. Nate shows up, looks exactly like Bobby Wood Jr., wins an autographed Bobby Wood Jr. jersey, hat. He gets to go sit at crown seats, but he was there with him, his wife, and their 3 kids. And so the winner and a guest got to go down there. One of the kids was smaller, so like could come sit on his lap. So he had 2 of his kids and him down there. But his wife handled the other kid, and then eventually the little kid, because little kids don't care about crown seats, was like, I want to go sit with mom. So like that kid leaves. His wife had to like, do the grunt work for the huge chunk of the day while he got to just kind of live it up.
Yeah, it was a heck of a day, man.
TV.
It was a heck of a day.
Stuff. She was great. She was super. The whole family was incredibly nice. It was awesome.
Yeah, so appreciate truly everybody that made the event work and flow yesterday. This is just the first event. This is not the end of. This is just the beginning of the Wittizens. Obviously, Bobby Wood Jr. himself had one of the best plays defensively the entire season during the game, which was awesome as well. Also want to thank Jake Eisenberg. Jake and Hud, I guess we're talking about our winner and the Wittison during the broadcast yesterday.
Wait, hold on a second. We've got a doppelganger. Is that Bobby?
That looks like it could be a relative.
That is Nate Miller. And he is quite a doppelganger. There's a new Bobby Witt Jr. fan club, the Wittizens. That's Cody Tapp on the right, Alex Gold in the middle. He's got the goatee drawn on. And they had a look-alike contest this morning for this new fan group. Nate Miller won. You can understand why. But they got the sunglasses, they got the wigs, they got the eye black.
That's beautiful.
I mean, if you look quickly, man.
That's so funny. I love it.
I mean, that is uncanny.
Mm-hmm. Nice idea. They all got the goatee, and they all got the glasses, the goggles, the welder's goggle glasses.
Yeah, they were out in the parking lot today, not only doing a look-alike contest, but they were doing Bobby Witt Jr. style haircuts. They brought in a barber, and you could select your hairstyle and try and match Bobby. They were having a lot of fun this morning.
Can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
So that was on FanDuel Sports Network. Thanks to Hud and Jake, obviously.
Awesome.
Jake, not drawn on, man. I had to text
That's
Jake. I said, this is a
goatee.
real goatee. Thought the goatee was drawn on.
Something about the TV. I will say, the TV broadcast version, when I watched that, it does kind of look like you painted it.
Really?
A little bit on the TV.
It's probably because it's out in
real
the
life,
sunlight.
It's very much a real goatee. I'm not arguing that. But on TV, there is some part of it that kind of looks like you just took like, eye black and like painted it around.
People are suggesting that our look-alike contest winner, he goes the path of fake Andy Reid, that he might be able to get some commercials out of this thing at some point. Hey, go for it, man.
I've actively encouraged. I think we should just get him to I just want a bunch of signed baseballs from Bobby Wood Jr. And then we just take him around the stadium. Anytime a kid tries to stop him, be like, Bobby? He just hands him a Bobby Wood Jr. autograph.
I figured
though he's not Bobby.
you thought that I was the real Bobby Wood Jr. and just hand him.
Just hand him a Bobby Wood Jr. signed baseball.
That would be hilarious.
I'm not, but here you go. Look, we're going to plan other Wittison events later in the show. We can talk about what are some of the things you want to see out of it. But it was a lot of fun. We really, anytime we do stuff like this, we cannot thank the listeners or the people who show up nearly enough. We will have more stuff, more events, all the other stuff. Thanks to everybody who helped us put the event on. The fact that Bobby Wood Jr.'s actual barber was giving you the haircut, I thought was a nice selling point for the people trying to enter the contest.
Also Justin as well. So it was,
and Justin did an amazing job. Oh God, they both did such a good job.
Well, he had to cut all the wigs. The wigs don't, you don't just go online and order Bobby Wood Jr. wigs. Like you can get mullet ones, but then you still got to trim them down and shave them down to make it look like
like his hairstyle.
So that was
Justin
awesome.
did. I felt bad for Justin because he was the one who had to shave 100 wigs.
Yeah, him and his staff did that. So awesome stuff. Appreciate it. And of course, it was a great game out there. And I'll be honest, selfishly, a dream of mine came through yesterday. We have joked on this show before, like how fortunate to ever have a chance to sit in the Crown Club. But the dream was always, we always joked, could you imagine sitting Crown Club and there's a rain delay? We had said that in the past.
The best time.
Wouldn't that be the best? And what did we have yesterday? We had a rain delay. The game didn't start till 1:50. More time in the Crown Club.
Especially because we had to do all the stuff before. So normally, if you ever sit in seats like that, they'll let you into the stadium earlier than the general gates open and all that. So the idea that we got to sit there selfishly, somebody did send me a text last night, and I took great offense. Somebody, because we're always accused of stuff on the show. Somebody said, I'm assuming that you just did this to sit in the Crown seats. You started all the Wittizens and all this stuff in an effort to sit in good seats. I'm like, that's not what's happening here. Relax. Everything's fine. I just, that was a nice happenstance of it, I would say. Nice happenstance of it. But it was fun. Yeah, we'll get some more stuff going together here on the Wittizens very soon. It is a big day, though, because we're only one day away now from the deadline that we talked about last week and said we would make a bigger deal about it as things got a little bit closer. Gold, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, if Trey Smith is not signed, he has to play under the franchise tag and he can't get a long-term deal. You and I had both pretty clearly stated we thought about a week out, the beginning of July is when we'd start talking about it. About a week out is when we'd start paying attention to it. But if he didn't have anything done by the Monday, which we all kind of thought he would, then we'd have to start paying attention. Well, officially, we have to start paying attention because at this point, Trey Smith does not have a deal done. And that means we're still, we've only got a little over 24 hours left before his contract is up. I'm officially a little bit worried they're not going to get a long-term deal done with Trey Smith. The silence still gives me a little bit of optimism. The fact that there hasn't been a ton of reporting on it. Are you more worried than you were before?
No, I'm not more worried. I'm just surprised that there hasn't been anything kind of leak out about it. Like, hey, the site, there's two parties that are getting close on this or anything like that. I'm a little surprised at that point, but we have seen time and time again with these kind of deals, sometimes they go up until the final couple hours before. So I don't know if we find out today or we have to wait all the way up until tomorrow afternoon's deadline. But yeah, this is a real fact. We've been consistent on it, and I still don't think anything has changed. That they have got to get this deal done the minute they operated the way they did around the beginning of the league year, and that was tagging Trey Smith, trading Joe Thuney, or trading Joe Thuney and tagging Trey Smith. He signed the tag immediately, so you locked in that money. It's been on the books since then, and that's the cap hit right now. And he's the highest paid guard in football. And you have an opportunity to still get a 4 or a 5 year deal done. That's the dilemma. It sounds like maybe, and that'll potentially allow you to get other deals done. And that's why there's too many things riding on you getting the deal done. There are massive consequences to you not working this out by tomorrow's deadline. And that is why I still believe it happens.
I'm with you. I am still more than 50%, right? I'm still, I guess I'd say, optimistic about the fact that the deal is not done. But at what point am I supposed to start getting worried if I've heard nothing? Like a lot of the people.
I mean, tomorrow, if it's 1 o'clock tomorrow and it's very, very, then I would say then.
That's really what it comes down to is when we're stuck in this situation right now, there are no indications that this deal isn't getting done, but there's no indication that it's getting done either, Alex. And that's the part that's throwing me off a little bit, is this idea that Nate Taylor, right, or any of the other valuable Chiefs reporters that we talk to on this show, like nobody's saying what I'm hearing is this deal is close. Adam Schefter had sent out the thing, which is just, hey, there's a deadline tomorrow for Trey Smith. If he doesn't get a deal done by 3 Central tomorrow, there will be, he will have to play under the franchise tag and he won't be eligible for a contract extension until the offseason. Nate Taylor then quote tweeted that with a simple, Trey Smith is the lone player in the NFL on the franchise tag. But nobody's saying this deal is close. This deal is not close. Trey is seeking this. It has been weirdly. This is quieter than normal. This is weirdly quiet. And that's, again, I don't know why that gives me, under normal circumstances, Gold, I know you would say, well, that should scare the hell out of you. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like normally people start the war of words if they're not going to get a deal done.
Well, yeah, that by the way, that still is probably the case. I mean, the fact that stuff is not leaking out, I don't think is a negative. It's just, there's times where it does. A lot of people would probably argue the fact that there isn't much going on, Cody, knocking over the camera, that would also set themselves up to still get something done. So I'm not worried about it.
That's good. I'm glad you're not worried. You sound so calm.
Are you all right over there?
The camera.
Just wait till the break is over, man. Microphones are off. Cameras are falling down.
They're doing the same thing as last week. I just,
Just wait 15 minutes.
Everybody gets to see Gold in his goatee now. That it's going to be a single
real
shot.
zoomed in on that goatee.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's right.
Matter of fact, 913-586-7965. What do you think this version of Alex Gold looks like? I don't know. I don't have like a prize. I'm not allowed to just like randomly give you prizes, but the winner will get acknowledgement, at least on this show. What does it look like Alex does? Gold or Dusty had said it just looks like you turned heel, which I think is a good reference and certainly not way off base there, Gold. It just doesn't look like you.
I agree.
That's the part.
It's a completely different person.
Gold drives an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, I mean, just the hat, the trucker type hat, and the goatee today.
Definitely.
It's like the combo.
Screams
yeah,
that.
it definitely is.
Well, I knew, so I made the decision. Once I knew I wasn't shaving the goatee for at least another day, I said, tomorrow I'm going hat. It's gonna be kind of nice. I don't have to put anything in the hair or anything. It's gonna be kind of nice. Just throw in the hair. This is great.
Don't have to. Just whatever. Let it dry. I guess you let it dry before you.
Well, of course. Yeah. I brushed it, let it dry, and then threw on a hat. I was like, this is way easier.
This is why people wear hats, man. Sometimes you just don't want to deal with
great.
it. I also, as we discussed, do not put product in my hair every day.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know, every day? That's crazy.
What am I doing? That's what I've been doing for a long time.
Every day, though? Drew, you put something in it every day, huh? I think I'm in the minority.
I do not put product in my hair every day.
Drew right now has, the flow of his hair right now is top notch, top level.
I think it's the head. I think
it's turning into like a Conan, like a pompadour or whatever it is.
Definitely. Is that what are you going for that?
It's going that direction. I'm not saying it's there yet, but it's going that direction. It's got some height.
So I had the same sort of deal after I got it bleached. Once the brown started to come back a little bit.
Bleached it now with that look.
So I had the frosted tips, and the hair got long enough. I started to do the pullback. It looked better, I think, actually with the frosted tips. But I'm going back for that.
Oh, don't do the frosted tips.
Sort of. I'm saying it looked better. I think I'm not going to do it because I don't think I'm going to bleach my hair again.
But are you going to get some highlights or something? Is that what you're saying?
You set yourself up?
I think it looked better when I got that.
I think it's going to get highlights. That's fine.
But that doesn't mean I like it. I like it the way that it is.
If you like
right
it
now.
and Bree likes it, then what do I care?
I mean, so Cody and I are going to Vegas in August, okay?
Uh-huh.
And we're going to be out there for Circus Sports. They have their big Survivor and Pick'em contest. You'll hear us continue to talk about that as we get closer. But we'll be out there for contest weekend and everything like that. And we were looking at what else is going on in Vegas while we're there. And when you said that, it reminded me, we were looking at the Sphere, who's performing. And do you know who's performing at the Sphere the Friday night we're there?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys are.
I think they're there for the whole month.
I'm kind of tempted to go.
I mean, Cody, would you go frosted tips if you go to the concert on behalf of Drew?
Frost my tips to go to the Backstreet Boys concert?
Yeah.
Cody with frosted tips. I don't know how that would look.
I already told you, my hair got dyed a lot when I was young.
I don't know how that would, if you with frosted tips, I don't know how that would look.
It would look pretty stupid now.
I mean, it would
as a 40-year-old dad of two, it looked pretty dumb now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it looked good then, like when my hair, I didn't have frosted tips, but I certainly, again, I told you the most extreme version of my hair I ever had. It was like dyed bleach blonde, and it had red parts in it. So I've had some extreme looking
with
hair.
Frosted tips and Gold with the goatee in Vegas. Let's go.
The goatee will not be there by the time we get to. Luckily, at least we now know it takes a week to get to this. This is a week. That's all it takes. But no, Not doing that. 913-586-7965. Here's a couple more texts. Someone says 100% look like Brad Paisley today.
Someone says you look like you should be in a bobcat.
Someone else says you look like just a guy at the bar. Someone else
Just
says
a guy at the bar, like
that's right.
generic guy at the bar.
Someone says looks like Gold can land a tour guide everywhere now and not just Arizona.
Looks like an older, wiser high school coach.
Oh, okay.
High school coach, they do like
How
facial
much
hair
money
and
did the
goatees.
show fund? Someone says how much money did the show fund for the goat to keep the goat?
How long would like if they said through the end of the year? Like if somebody just offered you cash money.
Oh, cat! Like I get not the show fund, but
not
I get
show
the
fund,
cash.
You get to keep it. What's the number?
A lot, man. A lot. That's a long time
Like
to run
$5,000?
Because here's the thing.
It's changing your whole energy.
Yeah,
for
it changes
half
the
a year.
it changes the whole vibe. I also I know this show obviously is on video, but I also do another show on video on Saturday. Like I don't know if I don't want to look like this.
Hilarious if you just showed up to the show and be like, "Are you going through a midlife crisis, Alex?" Like, what?
Bob says I look younger. I think maybe
I
it's
think
the
you look older.
I think I
you
look
look older.
That's what I told Bob was like, "Oh, you look younger." I go, "It's the opposite." I look older. I get the goatee, and there's a little bit of gray coming in on the goatee, just slightly. Like I don't think so. Now the hat. If I didn't have the goatee and just the hat, I do think I look younger without that or with the hat on. But not when you have a goatee on. It makes. I think I look at 5 years older.
I think you definitely look older. Which look, depending on sometimes you like.
I don't want to look older. I don't need to.
But when
I'm 34.
Look, I knew Alex didn't love the beard. Like he was okay with the beard, but he didn't love it the way like I thought the rest of us thought the beard looked good when he had it. The goatee, so I knew he wasn't going to like the goatee. There was just no chance he was ever going to like that. I cannot tell you the number of people that Alex voluntarily offered the information like, this is not my permanent facial hair.
Yes.
I have just shaved it for
That's
this.
right.
I want to make it very clear
Yes.
that this is not my look. I have shaved it for this contest.
That's exactly right.
And that is it.
Yes.
It was like,
Yes.
and it was like volunteered information
Yes.
some of the time, which was so funny.
Yes.
That's how I knew. He was like, oh, Alex hates this goatee.
Nope, I don't
so
like
I knew
the
money's-
goatee.
The dollar amount was
It
gonna
would be.
a lot.
It would have to be thousands of dollars
Thousands
for the
of
for the rest of the
dollars,
year
man.
to keep this. Yeah.
How thick do you think your goatee is even? How thick is your goatee
This
getting?
is a
in
week.
year?
So imagine a month.
He could have a very thick goatee.
Yeah, this is a week.
It's nice and connected.
Well, I did it. Yeah, it's connected. I tried to. I've never had to shave it like that. So I was like, I think I did it right. I don't know, but
Yeah, it looks good.
yeah.
I mean, you could have taken it to like.
Someone's dang these texts now. Someone says Gold looks like a dad who has tattoos of his kids' names but doesn't have custody of them. Wow. Damn. Holy cow. Someone else from the 816 looking like Tim McGraw in Friday Night Lights, verbally abusing and reliving the glory days. Jeez.
Oh man,
It's a different vibe with the goatee.
it's definitely a different vibe.
So today might be, maybe tomorrow might be like if the redness from the sunburn goes down, then it'll get shaved tonight. Otherwise, we get one more day of this, and then I think it's gone, man. Unless you want to write me a check.
I'm
if you
not.
still have
I'm not
those.
paying you thousands of
Okay.
dollars
Yeah.
in order to do it. But I know how uncomfortable. Like you would be just in discomfort.
Well, up at
for the
training camp,
next
I feel like it
4
would be hotter
months.
too. I feel like it'd be way too warm. Like we're up at camp next week.
Yeah,
I
tough.
feel like even the goatee
summer
would
beard's a
be-
tough time to be grown or summer
Yeah.
goatee.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Someone says, "Do the show with a Bud Light in hand, and you're good to go."
Yeah.
A lot of people just mention you look like a demolition derby driver. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
It does look like you should be driving a truck.
I agree with that.
I will say you
For
can't
sure.
be driving your Mazda. I need you. I need you with some little height.
Yeah.
You know,
I would agree with that.
it's got an American made.
Yeah.
He's got to be in a Ford Chevy.
I gotta get some
flag on the back, the massive flag on the back.
The Wittizens flag.
Wittizens flag. I got to get some Wrangler jeans, some cowboy boots,
right.
and then it's a commercial. You just see the boot step off the truck, and then it's like, and it's built Ford tough, and that's the
The
start
way
of the
you
commercial.
describe your hat's hilarious. You get out of the truck. You know, you
Yep.
tip, you just tipping your hat to everybody.
I like how
100%.
weirdly specific some of them was getting. Like, you look like a guy who belongs at a rural gas station who just puts the money on the counter and says 20 on 6. Just like, you know everybody there, right? So you got to step into the next thing, Gold, and just be like,
I'll have the usual, please, when you go into
Barbara
the diner.
behind the counter knows who I am. I'm
Oh,
not. Yeah. The usual. They just pour you your black cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's got,
You don't take
yes.
cream. I mean,
Yes.
no doubt about that.
You gonna go to Starbucks?
man.
Heaven forbid.
Get it from the diner.
That's right.
Up next, let's talk about how the Royals finished up the first half of the season, plus what John Sherman had to say about the first 100 games. That's right here on Cody and Gold.
Watch Cody and Gold on YouTube by subscribing to the 96.5 YouTube channel. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payout via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-750-2525. That's 800-750-2525. Again, that's 800-750-2525.
Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with millions in guaranteed prizes. Details at circasports.com.
Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
All right, we're just getting started here on a Monday. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the Royals' first 100 games, what John Sherman had to say in just a second. We ran into John Sherman yesterday, actually. If you saw on social media, we got him to hold up a official Wittizens sticker as well. He was excited about everything, so we appreciate John Sherman for that. We were walking by, and he happened to be walking by at the same time. So that worked out very nicely yesterday.
Very convenient timing. I did not happen to be like, so where you put the stadium? We were busy, didn't want to get into that. But
yeah, we will get to some of that stuff. Real quick, though, we got a text from Drew yesterday morning, and it was saying, hey, guys, not feeling great. I think I got food poisoning. Wife and I are both sick. We're like, oh, man, hopefully you feel better. What happened? Where'd you go? I won't name the restaurant, obviously. And he said, oh, Chinese buffet. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. We have warned you.
I know.
How many times? So you got food poisoning from eating at a Chinese buffet?
Yeah, it wasn't as bad, thankfully, as a couple weeks as in May when I got it for whatever reason. But it was, look, previously, and we've talked about this, I believe, on the show, we've had Chinese buffets before and never had a problem. As a matter of fact, we enjoy Chinese buffets. Hadn't had one in our time in KC. Decided, you know what, let's go ahead and have some Chinese food. And, it didn't go too well.
Dude, I got to say,
you got to stop.
The lack of sympathy you got in this building. Drew is a polite person.
I know.
Who's nice to most people.
Nobody was supportive of me, and nobody was supportive.
It was tough.
Or understanding.
The main boss of the entire building said, I do not feel bad for you.
Yeah, why did you do that?
This is what you deserve. Alex, burying you for admitting that you got food poisoning. Drew, I'm here to say, they're all right, and you're an idiot for eating that Chinese food. What were you thinking?
We've warned you a couple times on this show. We've said, hey, you're like, I haven't had a Chinese buffet in Kansas City. We're like, yeah, you don't need to go to one. You just don't need to do that. What time of day did you go? I need to know the detail. What time of day did you go on top of all this?
Like lunchtime-ish. Like it was like a
noon on a Saturday?
Yeah, like a 12:30 or a 1, yeah.
And my guess is you went for the seafood, didn't you?
I did have. I had some popcorn shrimp, yes,
dude,
as a part of it.
Come on, you just can't go there. And now, are you finally willing to admit that you're never going to a Chinese buffet again? You're still not.
Is this
there.
it?
He's still not
I don't
there.
know if
He's
ever.
still not there.
Well, then how am I supposed to feel sympathetic to your issues?
Wait, I don't know if you mean a Chinese buffet or any buffet. Period.
We'll stick with. I would say, unless you're in Vegas, pretty much don't go to a buffet.
Because there's a spot in where we go to family vacation where it's a seafood buffet that is.
But are
like,
you by the water?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, at least there's a chance. Yeah.
A seafood buffet near the ocean. I might allow.
Like on the water ocean. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Which is normally why I don't get this is the first time to my knowledge I have gotten seafood.
You weren't even getting.
You were dead serious. I don't think I've gotten seafood since. I haven't gotten salmon. I haven't had anything like that.
You told me.
I love salmon.
You said you had seafood. So like shrimp.
Yes, I had popcorn shrimp.
Well, you had popcorn shrimp at a Chinese buffet.
It's fried, so it's probably fine.
Well, that's what he thought.
Well, no, exactly. I would assume that's the only seafood that I had. Unless,
and your wife had it as well?
Yes.
So you guys no, it's fine.
It must have been the popcorn.
Just avoid the buffet, man. We've tried to warn you. You got to avoid the buffet. And you're feeling better, I'm glad. Sounds like.
How's the stomach? A little on ice, or are you feeling?
Stomach is better. Like I said, it wasn't.
Do you want us to get you some popcorn shrimp today?
No.
Okay.
I felt bad up until probably 6:30 or 7. Like it started to recover. And I feel better now. I do, I'm just drinking water. I'm being careful of what to put in my stomach, I guess, to say the least.
Is there anything else it could have been? Or are you 100% sure it was the Chinese food buffet? I'm just asking.
I would say more likely than not it's the buffet, but...
Or were you watching quarterback on Netflix too much and got way too excited watching Joe Burrow and it upset your stomach?
No, it was not that.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, but stay away from the buffet, man. Stay away from the Chinese buffet.
Yeah, but no, from now, I don't think I'll be eating at one anytime soon, to say the least. I don't know.
Just a hard lesson learned, man, but...
Ever's really hard for me to...
What? Here's the other thing. Stay away from the Chinese buffet, and also don't let Cody make you cioppino, and you'll be fine.
The cioppino had nothing to do with the food.
People got sick after your cioppino.
That was everyone... I'm telling you, my kids didn't eat it, and they were also sick. This was a flu situation. I'll make you some cioppino, Drew, to make you feel a little better.
Could you imagine if you eat cioppino right after having food poisoning? Oh, God.
It's great food. You can't have cioppino?
No, you cannot.
And I will say this, and I think it's Gold's comments about the cioppino that if you said, hey, if I came over to your place, Cody, and to have some dinner, you said, hey, I made some cioppino, I think I would try it, but I'd be hesitant.
After all the storytelling?
I would be a little bit worried, yes, after the storytelling.
I got a bad rap on... I haven't made cioppino since.
Well, yeah.
It's so mad at you guys. I'm making it... The next couple of weeks, I'm going to make cioppino. I'm going to invite Drew over. And you.
Well, I'm not eating that.
No, I guess you're not eating that much seafood.
I will now, for the rest of my life, if anybody ever brings up cioppino, there's no way I could ever take that dish seriously. I also would never eat that dish. I can't. It's got shellfish and all kinds of stuff in there, right? So I can't eat that. But no way. Anyway, let's talk about the first 100 games for the Kansas City Royals and where they sit. We know it's the All-Star break, Home Run Derby tonight. We'll talk about our interest in that. But the Royals are 47-50, 4.5 out of a playoff spot. They are sitting just outside of second place in the division, but the divisional stuff doesn't really matter because the Detroit Tigers are running away with it. They're the best team in baseball. That's very fair. That's very fair. How do we view the first 100? Let's start with the owner of the Kansas City Royals, John Sherman.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. I think obviously with what we did last year, historic turnaround, getting to the postseason. I think we thought we'd be in a little bit different place right now, but we are in this thing. We're in the middle of it. As you said, we're starting to see some improvement. Our pitching remains elite. And, when you have this kind of pitching, you're going to be in every game. So I think, JJ and I talk a lot. We got the guys, all the scouts are in right now for the draft, but also the pro scouts and preparing for the trade deadline, right? And it's all about, there are ways that we can make our team better in a material way. I'm not saying those opportunities will be there, but certainly this is a performance-based business. It's about continuous improvement. Everybody asks if you're going to be a buyer or a seller, but I look at it as continuous improvement, right? Trying to make our team better, both short-term and long-term.
We know the last 14 games or so offensively have been better, although this weekend up until yesterday, for the most part, the offense against the Mets series, it was kind of what we had seen time and time again against a high-quality team and very good pitching. The offense struggled. At one point, I think they were 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position. But this entire first half of the season, we don't have to go back into it. It's very obvious what has gone wrong, what has gone right. The pitching has been incredible. The offense has been as bad as it gets in all of baseball. And franchise-wise, it's been the worst offense in baseball. That has been the constant. There have been stretches, and really a stretch or so, where the offense has flipped and it's given you some hope or whatever. And we said on Friday's show, heading into the weekend, hey, need to see it continue in the Mets series and then need to see in the first series after the All-Star break. And it's not even so much that they needed to sweep the Mets or the exact win. It was more about, hey, does the offense keep going all weekend long? Friday was obviously extremely frustrating in the way that offense.
What do you mean when it was 3-1 and then all of a sudden it was 8-3?
Yeah, it blew up on them quick. But overall, the first 100 games, we're going to talk specifically about Noah Cameron later, but that's the story on the positive end, is that Noah Cameron yesterday had 6 2/3 of an inning pitched, and he continues, and I've been one of the people that said, hey, how sustainable is it? And he continues to prove people wrong, including myself, in terms of how well he can keep pitching. He has been one of probably the most undervalued players in all of baseball this year and underappreciated players in all of baseball in 2025.
The Royals could be in much worse shape if it wasn't for Noah Cameron. The biggest takeaways is look, we're at the All-Star break, and we know it's more than the true halfway point, but now you get 4 days to settle in, think about it, gear up for the final 60 games or so and figure out if you can make a push 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. My initial impressions are the Royals, now that we're at the All-Star break, are disappointing. Obviously disappointing. We'll talk about more why we think that might be the case, but that's been it. But to John Sherman's point there a little, I do think that there is and I don't think it's crazy just based on last year's performance alone or all this other stuff. We're not doing this based off of previous teams where we're just being like, well, if this player ever lives up to their potential, I know what the Royals look like when they live up to their potential. I watched it last year. So very simply put, if they just perform more to what I've seen them be capable of doing offensively, certainly last year and in very, 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 very brief stretches this year, they can hang around. But to Sherman's point, it's going to have to, they also need improvement. They're not like, let's just play better away from competing.
Yeah, they're not a bat away. You know, they could go out and bring in an outfielder, and I don't think that's necessarily solving everything. But you know, they're actually in a very, very difficult spot because they're 3 under and they're in that range we've talked about for the last month of, hey, this feels like a team that's going to be 3 under to 3 above the entire season.
Yeah,
and they're kind of that's where they're literally 3 under right this second.
I'd like them to get back to the 3 above.
I would as well. I mean,
do you think they'll be 500 this year?
Again, I think there's a chance right out of the All-Star break. They're playing the Marlins first 3 games. I think there's a chance that they could right out of the break. If they don't do it right out of the break, then I don't know if they'd get back to that without a trade of a bat or so.
Yeah, you're saying it's got to happen quick. I agree with that sentiment, as in I think you're going to play 500 baseball the next 2 weeks and then start creeping above. I do think it's got to
be right away.
Yeah. Get back to take on the Marlins series, a team who stinks, and start kind of righting the ship immediately. Again, it's so hard because had they just, and this is not, I'm not excusing it away. It's like they went on that big long winning streak and then they just were bad for a whole month where they only got the 1 win at home and all this other stuff. It's like, man, if you could have just treaded a little water, this team would be in a playoff spot. And we'd be talking about how that one bat could be gold. The difference between them getting in the playoffs and not getting in the playoffs and have a different energy towards it. And instead, every day I feel like they're grasping for life. And while 4-2 is a really nice homestand, and I'll take 4-2 pretty much every homestand the rest of the way, blowing that one on Friday night because you feel like you're just hanging on by a thread most of the time, blowing those games are like, you can't afford those. You can't afford those. You can't afford to be up 3-1 late and then it's just 8-3 and the game's over. And look, they even more so couldn't have afforded to blow the one yesterday, which they did not, thankfully. They got a walk-off win. Thank you, Tyler Tolbert. Getting a single, going around, all this
Nick
stuff.
Lofton,
Yeah, Nick Lofton and everybody, like the contributors who got the job done yesterday. Thank God, right? But it was just, they feel like they're just, I keep waiting for the shoe to drop and then be like, oh, so. Because you and I don't think they're making the playoffs. But to be like, sure. No back of your mind, no secondary thought, no, thinking that it's just going to get better offensively.
100 games in, man. That's what's like. It's not on one hand, you're like, wow, there's still 62 games to go. But on the other side of it, you're like, my goodness, we've already seen 100 games in the season. That's something that, at this point in time, I think for the most part, everybody, you were well past the what kind of team are you? Do you know what you are? I mean, this is well established at this point in time, even though there's 62 games left. I don't believe there's a magic switch that is going to flip. If they go out and acquire multiple pieces, maybe so. But that gets into the whole buyer thing. As we've said over and over, I don't want them buying Reynolds, and I don't think they will at all. I think if they acquire anybody that could help this year, it's probably somebody that they believe has control beyond this. But we are now, 2 weeks away from finding out if Seth Lugo is going to get traded. I mean, that's the number question. Like, I know. I don't
think they're going to go anywhere willing to go far enough for trade.
Yeah,
players with control, young that you like.
You and I both think Seth Lugo's still getting traded, right? Or are you?
I do.
Okay.
I think if you are the kind of transactional team small markets in baseball are supposed to be, it doesn't even mean you're not trading for other things that are different. It's just he doesn't have control. You're trading for something that does have control and is still. I think they'll look for a major league ready player, or maybe somebody who's already in the majors. But I do think Seth Lugo's probably going to get traded. Yeah, I don't.
The question will be, in addition to him, what do they do? And that's how you really know. I mean, is it, all right, Michael Lorenzen, who unfortunately got sick Saturday, so maybe him and Drew were at the same spot. I don't know. But so he didn't pitch on Saturday.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I'm going to guess no. he's somebody you move. Okay, trading Lugo and Lorenzen, that's one thing, but are they willing to go a step further? Because that would be the bigger surprise. Like, if you took Lugo, Lorenzen, okay. But if there was another player, pick who it is.
Michael, all the guys you...
That's when it becomes like more of a surprise.
That's
like,
when
okay, wow, yeah.
I think it was maybe Vernon pregame yesterday, and I agree, or postgame. I agree with this sentiment. Trading Lugo is not selling. You're going to say, is this selling? No, not really. That's just like transactional teams being transactional, moving pieces, trading away the guys who are young and have control, whether that be relievers or starters, like Bubic's names got mentioned because he got a year and a half of control, or position players like Michael or others. That to me is like selling. You know?
I probably agree with that.
The Lugo one, it's like that's just a move teams make to like just move pieces.
I probably agree with that. The only thing I would say, like on Bubic, is you run into the scenario now is like, is this when you're getting max value on Bubic versus the offseason?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Yeah, so that would be my only thing too. Like if you've made up your mind, I also think we were joking last week about Rich Hill and Dallas Keuchel and stuff like. If you're trying not to truly be sellers and you still think you can hover around and maybe sneak in, like and I know a lot of people roll their eyes at that, but if that's how they actually think, if you didn't have Lorenzen, Bubic, and Lugo, then I mean, seriously, like who the hell's pitching for this team? Reagans is not coming back till mid-August. Then you are calling up a Rich Hill or Dallas Keuchel. Rich Hill had 10 strikeouts the other day, by the way. His ERA is still like 5, but he had 10 strikeouts in 5 innings, I think it was.
10 strikeouts in 5 innings, huh?
Dick Mountain.
Are we going to see him this year? We probably are.
Well, him or Keuchel, one of them is going to get a start at some, whether it's because of a doubleheader. I mean, who knows, right? Like if they trade Lorenzen and Lugo, then of course at that point, somebody's got to come up.
Yeah.
Now I would rather it be, even if it's a guy that's been in the minors and he's 25, I'd rather just take a flyer and see what happens than call up Rich Hill where there's no future there. I mean, it's literally just a start.
He's just a body. I totally agree. I would almost rather just call up like a 19-year-old and be like, you know what? This is not you getting called up to the bigs. We just need one start. You start. Well, let's see what happens there. Because starting
I don't know about that extreme. I'd rather, there's a couple guys in AAA that are 25 years old, and you're like, you're kind of not really thinking they have a huge future, but they're 25, so might as well find out if they got it. If not, you can move on. You don't want to screw up with some like 19-year-old that's developing in AA or something like that. No, that'd be a bit much.
Just one start, just a little tester.
That'd be a bit much.
It's so weird because
how about the thing that the Futures game? You see Mazzucato. He pitched 1 inning and struck out, I think, 1 batter and got through 1, 2, 3.
Good.
Carter Jensen 1 bat. 0 for 1, but he got 1 at bat.
He has been very good in AAA. I now anticipate. Should I be assuming he's on the opening day roster next year? What does that mean? Moving Freddie Freeman in the offseason? You can't convert every catcher to play outfielder, and you can't carry every catcher on the planet. So also Salvi's deal, I guess, could mean something there. But I don't know. We can talk more about that maybe later in the week. As Carter Jensen looks more and more big league ready. And here's the truth. They're probably going to want him to have more than half a season in AAA. He will probably start the season in AAA next year, and then they will make those decisions. But it still adds a little bit of a challenge. It's been kind of a disappointing first half. We'll talk more about what something it's
kind of. I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, this team, we were I think talking off air about it a little bit. In all of baseball, it's Baltimore, Atlanta, and Kansas City, the 3 most disappointing teams in all of baseball in the first half or leading into the All-Star break, at least.
Yeah, it's very least. Meanwhile, in the NFL, we have a very weird thing going on. But I guess I'm not worried about it as it relates to the Chiefs because they're in the same boat. All the reporting this weekend, we all saw, riding a similar line. They're currently 30 of the 32 second-round picks in the NFL who are not under contracts for the team. And I want to remind you, we will be out in St. Joe at training camp next Tuesday. We've got a bunch of shows. Alex and I will be broadcasting live from training camp in St. Joe. But starting next Tuesday, we'll be out there. Their second-round pick is not under contract. And you're like, should I be worried that Omar Norman-Lott is not under contract? What does that say? Normally, it used to be a bad thing. We've been making fun of Drew all offseason because Shamar Stewart
First-rounder,
is not under contract. So why am I here to tell you it's different? Because no one of the second-round picks has signed their deal, and it seems to all be coming to one player causing a problem. One single player at the top of the second round signed a fully guaranteed deal for the first time for second-round picks ever. And all the agents are collectively bargaining, I would argue, for we should all be getting the same things, and no one wants to sign until they see how far down those things don't go. It's a fascinating thing, but eventually everyone's going to cave on this. Everyone's going to sign eventually.
Somebody's going to have to cave. I mean, these guys are rookies that are second-round picks. They're not going to go into the season not making any money under contract and not being available for their teams.
It's got to be the player.
But
It's got to be the
Norman
players,
Lott,
right?
like Norman Lott. The reason why you're right, we don't hear as much noise is because he's not alone. He's not like doing something that's completely ridiculous compared to his peers. He's aligned with his peers actually in this, and the Chiefs haven't really commented on it. He hasn't said much. He reported all the offseason stuff. I think we all assume he will be there in St. Joe next week for training camp. It'll be weird, though, if it's like the third preseason game and he's still not signing. Like, hey, the season starts in like 10 days or so, or whatever it is, 17
Are you
days.
going to actually be in the rotation?
Yeah, something's going to have to give. I mean, you're not going to have 30 players from the second round just not playing week one.
It's got to be the
because they're under
players who give up the stuff, right? Like I
Normally
think
that would
usually
be the case. He's a rookie. They're like 21 years old versus the owners would be like, yeah, you know what? We'll just give you all guaranteed contracts.
The team that did it was the Houston Texans. It was Jaden Higgins, I think, the wide receiver out of Iowa State, who signed that guaranteed deal. Where now, because preseason game or the season starts in a month and a half. Officially, like week 1 is a month and a half from now. I would assume that the teams are going to try as best they can to avoid having to guarantee the contracts for all of them. So it's probably going to get to the point where the players are like, look,
bad precedent.
I would love to know who the agent is for, you said Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver down there in Houston. Because if he represents any of the other 30 that haven't in the second round, I would be curious. And because right now, in terms of like management and ownership, they can't stand like whoever. Is it a well-known agent or is it just?
I bet, yeah.
Also, like the Texans sure didn't have an issue with it, so the other owners are probably not thrilled with the Texans. That's probably what's really happening.
What's so crazy is like the NFL really, really, really hates guaranteeing contracts to any players at all, but also because like it's a dangerous sport. But like that's why we want the guarantees. We might only get
Everything's about guarantees now with players. It seems like that.
I mean, in the NFL, it should be, man. You only get 3.5 years on average to be an NFL player. I sure as held like a little security too.
Well, it's just any sport, and again, the players should be getting the security to have it. It's all about the guaranteed money now, more than it even is the total money that they're making.
It's Mahomes' agent. It's Chris Cabot.
There you go. Interesting. Interesting.
It's
a good agent.
Yeah, that is a good agent. Got him a guaranteed deal. Really good agent. Good for you, Jaden Higgins. Hired some good representation. And now I don't know if they're representing any of the other second-round picks. To that, I can't speak.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that it's, he's part of his team. I know you guys see Lee Steinberg a lot, but Chris Cabot's a part of that team. So it's him. He's the agent.
Norman Lott, who's his agent?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Ian Grutman, different agency.
Never heard of him.
GSE Worldwide.
I gotta say,
it's like Prestige. Prestige.
Drew, here's how it actually I think it goes is the guys at the end of the second round, those are the guys who need a cave here. Like, I'm sorry that pick 33 got a
So you're saying Norman Lott needs to cave?
Yes, he should be in the group that caves first. And this isn't a knock on him. It's just like he was pick 33. Your pick,
62 in this case, or whatever it is.
63. He was 63.
63?
Your pick 63. There's a 30 pick difference. It turns out the guarantees change a little from pick 33 to pick 63. This is the only time I would argue with. He's basically a first rounder. It's the only time I'd agree with it. At pick 32, you get a guaranteed contract. It's not crazy to me at 33. You would also get a guaranteed contract. And what's crazy is like it's not even huge numbers we're talking about. They're talking about fully guaranteed. Do you know what Jaden Higgins gets as a fully guaranteed contract as a player?
Per year, probably $5.5 million.
What he gets total? $11 million.
Oh,
that's all.
Not even 5.5.
That's all they're guaranteeing. Taysom Hill got $40 million guaranteed. We're fighting over 11. Like, part of me thinks the owners should cave. The dream scenario is the owners cave down to pick 36, 40. They find a number before somebody stops guaranteeing
establishing
it.
precedent. You know this. Anytime, whether you're talking sports or anything else, it's to shift the precedent is a big thing.
We're getting into college NIL deals that have guarantees in them.
Yes, the Texas Tech kid is getting like $5 million guaranteed. I saw that.
I'd fight a little bit harder on that. Or at the very least, it's more like a contract. Like if you leave this money,
of course. As far as if you're a fan, you shouldn't be worried about it. It's going to get sorted out. Like Norman Lott will play this season. He'll be under contract. It'll get figured out.
Yeah, as a fan, I guess. Yeah, I'm not overly.
The bigger
worried
problem
about
is
it
if you have a first round
pick.
You have a first round pick.
Is
that's
he
all
still not
different.
paid?
Yeah, he's not in Cincinnati. He's still not.
He hasn't been talking as much, which
Well, because it's the dead week or the dead month or whatever it is. You know,
He hasn't been talking.
it's the guarantee money issue. So
I should probably just trade him. You know,
they just don't want to set in their mind a bad precedent.
Cody, who wants him? Who?
Somebody who'll pay him a normal first round pick contract.
But it's all about the guarantees again. It's the same thing. It's all about. Are you a player who is raw that needs development? Are you willing to pay him first round money guaranteed? I don't know if anybody is. If the Bengals aren't, who is?
Adam Schefter just a day and a half ago on a show said on the Rothman and Ice show said, I think he's dug in on the language. He does not want to be the first one to be made an example of. The Bengals haven't had this language before. Other teams have had it, but the Bengals haven't.
Which is why he's not the first person to be made an example of.
Quote, he is unwilling to budge.
And look, if he wants to ruin his career and enter the draft again, go for it.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
It would be the dumbest decision he could possibly make for his career.
It would be dumb for him, but it would also be complete
It would also be really,
Cincinnati.
I got to be honest, it'd be equally as dumb for Cincinnati to lose out on their first round pick because they were unwilling to guarantee a few bucks to the guy.
That I think could be a blessing in disguise of, hey, Mike Brown, you need to figure this out because this is what's happening to you. Like it is an egg on your face moment. This is how embarrassing the organization has been.
All right, coming up next, guys, we'll talk more about the Royals and the now 4 All-Stars that'll be participating beginning tomorrow in the All-Star game. That's coming up here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. 11 elite classes pulling on 2 tracks, featuring diesel pickups and semis battling it out for supremacy. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. The Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the action starts at 7 p.m. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. Join the millions who have already won billions making plays on Underdog and be next to join one of the leading places to make all your sports selections that you can play in your state. To play, all you have to do is download the app. Choose whether you think a player will go higher or lower than their favorite stats, home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. Once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. That's right. If you bet $1, you could get up to 1,000 times your money. So you really could turn $1 into $1,000 with your baseball knowledge. Download the Underdog app. Sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
New Harley-Davidson starting at $99 a month at Rawhide Harley. Over 600 Harleys in stock. Only $99 a month for a brand new Harley-Davidson at Rawhide Harley. Visit rawhideharley.com.
Payments based on extra models and base color with 30% down, 84-month term, 6.99% APR with approved credit. Doesn't include freight, setup, tax, title, and license fees. See dealer for details.
Flooded bathroom? AC on the fritz? When things go wrong, you need reliable service fast. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and take $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. The pros at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to fix the problem. Over 40 years experience, more than 8,000 5-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee means you can trust Hamilton to bring comfort and calm back to your home. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check your house sitter has the new code first before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code!
Contacting authority.
I'm out of here.
Oh, seriously, the car too?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Have you watched Die Royal Decree? How about Chiefs Take Tuesday? Or would you rather Wednesday? Follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for exclusive video content, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes action. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
$11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We will get to the trash of the day here in about 20 minutes or so. I'll give you guys a choice between 2 different ones. I got 2. If not, we'll move one to the next day. But 2, yep. 2 different ones. We'll get to those. You can always interact with the show on the J Southland Tow Service. Text line 913-586-7965. We were mentioning on Friday's show about how ridiculous it was for Michael Garcia not to be an all-star. Passed over once, twice, 3 times. And then, an hour after our show Friday, the news comes out that there was another alternate available. And Michael Garcia became an all-star. So the Royals have 4 all-stars tomorrow night in the all-star game. Carlos Estevez, Michael Garcia, Bobby Wood Jr., and obviously Chris Bubich as well. Tonight is the Home Run Derby. There's no Royals participating in that, unfortunately. That would have been pretty fun if that was the case. And we will get to some of our best bets for the Derby tonight. But as nice as it is to see 4 all-stars, doesn't that make you more frustrated with the first half in the first 100 games?
Yes.
Hey, this team has 4 all-stars and they're 3 games under 500.
They're one of the better pitching staffs in baseball and 4 all-stars, and you're telling me that they're not even in a wild card spot right now? Like the teams who are bad, the teams who have 1 all-star, 2 all-stars, those things, I've been around those teams. Very few times in my lifetime have the Royals had 4 all-stars, and when they do, it normally means they're accomplishing something. And I would still tell you, 4 all-stars, and we talked about on Friday, Vinny's having a career year to this point. And so you would think that's a lot of things going right. What the hell happened? It makes me more annoyed. Because the truth is, and this is where like people are like, whoa, you just want to give up on the team. This is why it's hard, the reason why I'm annoyed is this team is too talented to have a record below 500. That's my actual opinion on it. I think that they should be above 500, not because of their performance or some unforeseen thing holding them back, but because they're not performing well enough based on the talent that they possess on the roster. You're getting a career year out of Vinny, a career year out of Michael Garcia. You got a rookie in Noah Cameron who has burst onto the scene. Lugo hasn't taken a step back. And I get it. Reagan's, that's a hit. I'm not saying there's 0 hits, but it's largely because you got off to such a terrible start and because the offense has never come together and you can't hit 6 through 9. And Cags didn't just come up and immediately slug.
Right.
That like the offense is so frustrating. It just feels like it's held this whole thing back, even though you have things that are working.
Right. I mean, that is also probably why internally in the organization, look, they are well aware of where they sit in the standings and the amount of teams that are in front of them and all that. But that's also probably why it's hard to, say that you're not going to still try to find a way to maybe help this team offensively in terms of trade market wise, even if you're not going to be as aggressive reportedly as they were a year ago. That was the report on Friday as well, I think, from The Athletic, that they're going to look for ways to improve the team. So you want to call that buying or not, I don't know. But they are not going to maybe be as aggressive, which is probably a smart, measured approach. So they're well aware where they're at. But they also look and they have 4 All-Stars, and they see, as you laid out, Cody, multiple players maybe having career years. Noah Cameron continues to be one of the great stories in baseball of 2025, and yet you sit in the spot you're at. So you have that faith. You feel like, I mean, J.J. Piccolo, who will join us tomorrow on the show, by the way, there'll be plenty to talk about with him, including the MLB draft. But you have, a team and an organization that has such great pitching that you feel like you have an obligation not to let that go to waste. And that's something they have acknowledged publicly, including on this show.
By the way, I see the text line say, career year, he stunk for 2 months. He stunk for a month, maybe a month and a half.
End of March and then April. Yeah.
And I am not denying that in any way. We openly talked about that when we mentioned the show. He is on pace to have a career high in home runs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS. So, by all accounts, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's a career year like the way Salvi did when he hits 330 or 48 homers, but he is on pace to have the best year of his career, especially if he finishes the year healthy, the way he's played healthy up to this point in the season. A lot of this is just to say you've underperformed. Plain and simple, you've underperformed. Not that you have no talent, and this goes back to maybe a JJ part of this. I am not totally disappointed in the way that they structured the build of the team. They missed on some, and they obviously way undersold how bad their outfield problem was. Boy, it was bad.
Yeah, that's on management, no doubt.
And that's on management, no doubt about it. But parts of it is just, we have some of the right names, and you guys just didn't do it versus what you did last year. So we were banking on you being a good baseball player again, and you weren't a good baseball player again.
Right, no, and there's definite truth to that. I mean, I think by now it's very evident. I mean, your starting left fielder on opening day is in AAA. Your starting right fielder on opening day is not on any single team in baseball. Right
and
now.
Probably won't play baseball.
Right. He's probably, you would think his career is probably over. And talking about Hunter Renfroe, obviously. I think, yes, it's management. And then I don't want to keep going right back to it. And clearly they're not going to make this shift. So if it happens, it's the offseason. But, people are mentioning, if it's the performance is number one, it's on the players. And I agree. But that's also back into the hitting conversation too, and the hitting development and the hitting coach and the hitting staff.
That's not happening this year.
Clearly, right? They believe in Alex Zumwalt and company, and at least for this season, they are sticking with them. We'll see if something changes in the offseason. If not, that'll be interesting to see. But that also would be, we did the pie chart thing. There's plenty of blame to go around. It's easy to place blame on people. I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Players, most notably, management, right there. I still think the smallest chunk of the pie, if we were to divvy it up again, I actually still believe is Q. And I know for whatever reason, social media and the text line like to act like Matt Quatrero is responsible for every win and every loss.
Yeah.
And yes, I guess by being manager, quote unquote, yes, it goes to your record. But I think we're giving too much credit for managers in baseball, that the impact that they have on a daily basis, good and bad. I think they, it's the cliche thing, right? They get too much credit for the losses and not, or too much credit for the for the wins in the playoffs as well as the losses. I think we overvalue that. Like yesterday, what did you want them to do any different? They ended up winning, so people are complaining. But if they would have lost the game, they would have
put in their all-star closer. Not put in their all-star closer.
Yesterday, and then it turns out, Urseg was dealing maybe with a minor injury the night before, whatever, 2 days before, stuff like that. What you can't pitch Carlos Estevez and Urseg every single night.
I also think it's funny that there was a stretch of time in which people hated Estevez so much that they wanted Urseg instead to close.
Yeah, and Carlos had a bad day yesterday, but he's an all-star and he still is tied, I think, for the AL lead in saves.
Yeah. Look, I'm not worried about it. He had a bad outing, didn't cost him the game, thankfully. And that would be the case. And so we'll see kind of what comes next of that. They all get a few days off here to rest and get ready. It's been a disappointing season, mostly because I don't think that I think they are talented enough to be a playoff team. I think the All-Star votes proved to some of that, and they're just coming up short of that.
The All-Star game is tomorrow. Tonight's the Home Run Derby, and I am excited, actually. I'm excited for the All-Star game more than the Derby. The names, there's some young names in the Home Run Derby, like James Wood I'm excited about, but in general, Ronald Acuna dropping out kind of stinks. Now Matt Olson's in. Cal Raleigh's been a great story. But I think the All-Star game got more intriguing over the weekend. Not only because now the Royals have 4 All-Stars in the game, and it'll be pretty cool to see Michael and Chris Bubich in particular get their first All-Star appearance. But this is a very controversial, I think, decision by baseball, yet I love it. And that is the local kid, actually, Jacob Mizorowski for the Brewers, becoming an all-star after only 5 outings. And yet, look,
it's crazy.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's not like unusual. It's the first time it's ever happened. Paul Skeens a year ago got in after only 11, and people are like, well, that's he started. Now, that was 11. No, so my question would be...
Paul Skeens is a star still, so I don't think they made a mistake.
Correct. And The Miz looks like he's going to be a star. I would rather see a young, up-and-coming star that has been dominant at times, that has all kinds of energy and emotion and personality, for an exhibition. I want to remind everybody, it's still an exhibition game on Tuesday night. They didn't go back and start counting for home field advantage again or something like that. I have no problem with this. I get why people are frustrated because they say, hey, he only had 5 outings. Some other guy's pitching pretty well with similar numbers, and he had to pitch 15 times or whatever, 12 times, whatever it is, in the first half. That's not fair. I would say it's a showcase event. It's an exhibition event. Mizorowski, if you tell me he's pitching the 7th inning on Tuesday night, I am more likely to stick around and watch because he is electric on the mound. He just is. So this is, I think, one where people are going to be split on the text line as well. And I don't know where you're at, Cody, but we talk about marketing stars all the time. Market your stars, young and up-and-coming names that have personality, that also bring in younger people. And I think Jacob Mizorowski does that.
I think it is a good marketing decision. Like, from a player perspective, it annoys me the same way like Maikel Garcia. There is a player more deserving of it. But you're like, well, why wouldn't you be equally as annoyed at him getting in after 5 games as you were at other guys getting in for Maikel Garcia? And you're like, well, the answer is very simple. The game has to, in some way, market itself. Maikel Garcia was trying to get in over Jeimer Candelario. Nobody cares if Jeimer Candelario doesn't get into the game. It does not move the needle, or not him, but like a player like that. Nobody cares. It doesn't move the needle. He's a like players like that, or the guys who've been around baseball. And again, it's not him. I was just using
I got you.
Guy. But like,
yeah, I hear you.
It's when you're talking about that level of player, then I just want the better player having the better season to get in, like Maikel Garcia. When you're talking about someone who is bursting onto the scene, and you got a lot of people interested in watching him and watching the sport and doing those things, you have to make these decisions sometimes for a business purpose. I think it's a bad baseball thing, and the players deserve it, and I want them to get in there.
The argument on the other
side,
Phenom-y
stuff is hard.
I have no issue with. If I play devil's advocate a little bit, I think the question would be: what is it a slippery slope? Like now, is it just next year somebody else? Is
Cats can come up for 2 games and hit a 500-foot homer to get to play in the game.
That's the slippery slope, I guess. I just think it's an exhibition game, guys. Like, what do we I know you don't want to become the Pro Bowl. I understand, but it's still a million times better than the NBA All-Star Game or the Pro Bowl. The other part we forget about is so many pitchers pitched yesterday that are not available to pitch. You also have some pitchers that want to heal up. Maybe they got a blister or something.
They're going to pitch Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Or they just want to be fresh for the second half. Everybody has a different answer. So it's not like Mizorowski was the second choice or the third choice or the fourth or the fifth or the sixth or reportedly the 7th. He was way down the list of alternates too. So plenty of people turned this down. I'm not saying 1 or 2 people didn't get the raw end of the deal. I think that's true, but I love the fact that he's in it. Certainly don't be mad at him. I saw some people like attacking him.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, what are you mad at? I mean, what, you want him to turn it down? Are you kidding me? This kid is having an unbelievable moment, and hopefully it's more than a moment.
This feels a little bit, I got to be honest, this feels a little bit like your team 76 in the NCAA tournament. They're on 12th alternate,
right?
Mizorowski. I got to be, if you weren't better than the 50 people who already got in and the 12 more alternates they got to before they got to Mizorowski, I don't think you really get to cry foul that you didn't get in the game, okay? Like, I'm sorry. You weren't anywhere close to good enough. So instead, they chose the player who's interesting. And that stinks that you're not one of the bigger stories in the sport.
Remember, when
we're talking about getting down that far, that's how you feel about the NCAA tournament. It's like, we're pretty far down. I'm sorry, Grambling State, that you weren't good enough to get in. Maybe win like 5 more.
Well, it's not like he
games.
picked him. It's not like they picked him off a hype. Like every game that he's pitched in, he's been ridiculously good.
It's more the sample size for people, I think.
Again, it's only 5 games.
I have no problem. The strongest argument, and it's obvious, and I understand it, is that hey, it's 5 games. Like, what is that? That's crazy, right? But he has been awesome to watch in 5, and I think what was it, a Tuesday or Wednesday game? When it was a day game in Milwaukee, it was Skeens and Mizorowski had 42,000 people.
Yeah,
and I understand Skeens is a huge draw, but Skeens and Mizorowski in Milwaukee,
he
outpitched him, but also that he helped sell out a ballpark on a random Tuesday or Wednesday for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's got the star power.
We talk about this all the time. None of us, I have worked in sports professionally for more than 10 years now. I have not, in those 10 years, watched the Pro Bowl once. I'm not kidding. Not once. Not an event, not a second, nothing. Zero. I have watched Four Nations for the NHL. I have watched, and the Home Run Derby, right? Because the Home Run Derby is good. Or I've occasionally caught a slam dunk contest. Not all of them, but some of them. We talk all the time about how these all-star games are meant to display your sport, and it's hard to get people to tune in because they are exhibition games, to your point. If you've got a 6'8" dude, 6'7", how tall is he? He's like around there.
He's very tall.
You got a super tall guy who strikes everybody out in his sights, and everybody in the sport or card game or anybody else are talking
6'7",
about. And then you have to kind of, you gotta promote those.
I would
guys,
also say, if you're someone in the area too, it's pretty cool. He's from Blue Springs, so that also helps. I think the cause here for those people in Kansas City that are looking for a reason to be interested in him. Yeah, Green Valley, Missouri.
From the 913, I think this text it sparks an interesting little conversation. So yes, it's an exhibition game, but all-star selections factor into Hall of Fame decisions. Maybe we should not, because to me, I think in the NFL in particular, the all-pro stuff means vastly more than Pro Bowl selections. I think all-NBA means something. All-star selections means more in basketball than it does in other sports. I don't know how much the baseball, all-star selections to me, it sounds like mean a lot regarding the Hall of Fame stuff. Maybe we should change that, because it's an exhibition and you're getting down to the 12th name on a list and all these other things.
Well, then the guy who's 11th is not getting in the Hall of Fame anyway. I didn't rob him of anything.
Well, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I mean, we have no idea what the career of Mizorowski is going to look like versus somebody else. We don't know.
What do we think? Giving him in this one All-Star nod is going to be the reason why he gets in. No, I'm saying the guy he cut in line, I guess.
But we also don't know that. I mean, that's hard to say. Look, it's hard to get in the Hall of Fame anyway. I would say we could have a whole conversation about the ridiculousness of baseball Hall of Fame voting anyway.
Complain to baseball writers about
and how they go about it. And I will say too, what you're kind of saying with the Pro Bowl versus All Pro on the NFL side. In baseball, the players do get a bump pay-wise for getting in the All-Star game. Juan Soto, who nobody's thinking he's hurting for money, but he was talking about that like a week or so ago. He's not in, and it was like, hey, do you care that you're not in the All-Star game? And he's like, what do you think? He's like, you basically, it's a nice little, it doesn't matter how much you're making, you still don't mind a little extra cash. You get a nice little bonus out of it. So there's that aspect to it. This is one of those conversations around Mizorowski and the 5 games getting in an All-Star. Like, I understand the other side. Like, if you're flat out just saying it's not enough games, I totally get it. But I just think for baseball, this is a really good and smart decision. I'm not saying people are like, I guess there are some people that are outraged, but I don't know how you're outraged by the 8th alternate for an All-Star game. That's all.
People are saying they want to see more banana-style baseball for the All-Star game. The only problem is that you can't. They train to do that style of baseball the way baseball trained to do baseball stuff. So, I don't think we can just get Maikel Garcia doing a backflip, catching a fly ball tomorrow just because we want to see it.
It actually is kind of cool for Maikel.
They could probably dance or maybe plan a dance, but
and because they're so routine driven, does that if you're a player, I don't want anything throwing me off. I don't need to break any of my routine that I've got.
That's why some guys won't do the Derby. Yeah. I will say for Maikel, not only is it cool because the season he's having, but his cousins with Ronald Acuna Jr. Now Ronald Acuna Jr. is not doing the home run derby, but it's in Atlanta, so it's kind of cool. He gets to be in the same city that his cousin plays in and everything. It's just it's
very cool.
Probably a pretty cool family thing for Maikel Garcia as well. But 4 All-Stars for the Royals. If I would have told you at the beginning of the season, you would have said, "Oh wow, things are going great." You would have said things are going great for the Royals. If in April I would have said they're going to have 4 All-Stars at the All-Star break.
Yeah,
and 2 of them are hitters. Now you wouldn't have guessed Maikel Garcia. I'll tell you that. You would have probably said, "Oh, it must be Vinny," or it must be, I don't know,
Salvi.
Probably, yeah, probably Salvi would have been your answer.
Yeah, I would have assumed. I would have assumed there were some pitchers on the list. I just didn't know, where.
Might have said Reagans. Yeah, you might. You wouldn't have said Chris Bubich. That's for sure.
No, I think I would have gotten. I mean, you had predicted that Estevez, so maybe you would have said him. I think I might have gone over. I wouldn't have said Maikel. I wouldn't have said Bubich. I probably wouldn't have said Estevez. I get a bit. I would have said Bobby. So I'd have gone 1 for 4. If you'd made me, you said before the season, you're like, they got 4 All-Stars. Who are they? I'd have been like, okay,
You would have said Salvi for sure.
Salvi would have been a lot.
You said Salvi and Bobby.
Salvi. I would have chosen a starting pitcher. I might have chosen Lugo. I might have chosen Cole.
You would have said Noah Cameron. He's going to get called up, and he's going to pitch great.
That's right.
You know, that's who's really getting robbed in the If Mizorowski's going to get Noah Cameron's ass in.
So that I was going back. But no, it's funny you bring up that exact example. Was it Saturday night?
Noah Cameron's been incredible.
Friday night when the news broke, I was going back and forth with somebody over text, and that was their argument. One, I was like, well, he's on the AL side, so the argument to me doesn't exist because he's not taking an AL spot. He's on the NL side. But yes, Noah Cameron has definitely been an underrated player all season. We've discussed that.
So I might have guessed one bullpen guy just knowing that they got 4. But yeah, there would have definitely been. I'd have gotten to Vinny and a bunch of other guys before I got to some of the others.
Trash of the day.
All right, trash of the day here on Cody and Gold. 2 options for you guys. Would you rather have one about someone sending some information on a dating platform?
Always interesting because you were single, and that always interests me. What else?
One about a theft of $113,000 worth of something.
Ooh.
I think we want the first one.
Okay, let's go with the first one.
Sounds like it. All right, we go to Nebraska.
Dating stuff always good on this
Nebraska for this one. And Nebraska man finally had some resolution to his court case and everything. It looks like he pled guilty to sending top secret info to a person on a dating site.
What?
Yeah, so this is... I won't mention the full name. I guess
was it on Siren or like what?
A retired Air Force lieutenant colonel turned civilian worker at an Air Force base up there in Nebraska pled guilty on Thursday. This was last week to conspiring to pass top secret national defense information to someone he met on a foreign dating platform. So this is it's like, dude, you were so you were so desperate.
So he was
down
he's
bad.
Just giving out.
Court papers said that between February and April of 2022, there was a profile claiming to be a Ukrainian woman called this former, a retired Air Force lieutenant, called her secret informant love and pressed him for details on Russia's war plans. He still had top secret clearance while attending STRATCOM briefings, sent classified data about Russian targets and capabilities through the site's messaging system. He now faces up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a $250,000 fine at his October sentencing. This one was sent to me over the weekend. So he was so in love, so blinded by her or this fake person that he sent top secret information.
10 years seems light for that.
Yeah.
But no,
this guy is out here selling state secrets for love.
This is fresh out of a TV show because I kid you not. You guys know this. I love the FBI shows. I think this is part of a script in one of the FBI shows.
The shows are based off of real things, so yeah.
I gotta say, doing it for money is not good either, but doing it so that maybe you can get
this guy must have been down bad. This guy was down bad. I mean,
could have gone the paid route before he went this route.
Yeah.
Now he's paying with time. He should have. My God.
That's crazy.
Yikes, man! Oh man. Yeah, that one, man, you on a foreign dating site, dude, come on.
I don't know how you get yourself in that spot, man. I know
how down bad you have to be. You just don't know.
Someone says a strip tease with a classified document. Oh yeah, remove that redacted info for me, baby.
They must have the weirdest dirty talk of all time. Yeah, tell me about those missile sites. No, actually, tell me about those missile sites. I need to know exactly where they are.
You want me to send that? You want me to send that photo to you? I need to know where we're looking. What site? What site in Russia?
Try
are
pairing
those weapons in the east side of the country? Or are you just happy to see me? You're like, what are you saying to this person that is allowing you to do this?
Oh my man, that is the trash of the day.
Wild.
Real quick bit of news just came out about a minute ago from the Royals. The Royals have placed Michael Lorenzen on the 15-day IL, retroactive to July 11th, so 3 days ago. The good old oblique strain, unfortunately, left oblique strain.
That's going to make it tough on the trade department.
That's why he did not pitch on Saturday. They said he was sick. Remember, on Saturday, he was sick. Well, by sick, they mean oblique. Not good. Also, dare I say, unless he comes back right in time. I guess he could come back right before the deadline. I'm saying, does this kill the chance of being able to move him? July 11th.
Teams
15
traded
days.
for
15 days. It'd be right before. It'd be 3 days before the deadline.
Yeah.
They could still move him. That should be like,
but it'll be tight.
I hope he recovers and is healthy. But like, for the Royals' sake, not being able to move him, not that you're going to get a huge haul.
The pitcher injuries are making it harder for them to trade pitchers. Like if they're interested in trading Lugo, if they're interested in trading Lorenzen, if they're interested, it's become more difficult because of the injuries, and also who starts in place of Michael Lorenzen when they come back from the break.
Rich Hill, Dick Mountain makes a spot start, baby.
It very well might be. Like
Dallas Keuchel.
I don't have like a but. It's going to make it a lot harder to do it. Okay, make it a lot harder to make the playoffs if every fifth day you got to start Rich Hill. That and it's not even like a knock. It's just that adds a whole nother element into the issue here. By the time they get Rich Hill here, they're going to need some other guy to pitch in AAA. Welcome back, Zach Greinke, or any other guy who's been retired for the last 2 years, because they're just going with aging veterans at this point in order to do it. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if they need to trade minor leaguer for minor leaguer, trade some of their catching depth for a pitcher in the minors, so they actually have a little bit of movement in there.
So we'll see.
Grab more college pitchers tonight.
We'll have JJ McCall on the show tomorrow, so we'll ask him a little bit more maybe about the plan, and his availability. Now, oblique strain, like just because you can come off the IL in 15 days, sometimes with those oblique strain doesn't mean that he's fully going to be available there, but I would like him to be healthy so they can at least have an option to move him if that was the guy we kind of all assumed they were going to trade at some point in time. And again, I'm not acting like they were getting a massive haul back, okay? But disappointing news for Michael Lorenzen and the Royals. He is now on the IL. Up next, let's get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. One thing that Patrick Mahomes had to say around the stadium conversation. That's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. 11 elite classes pulling on 2 tracks, featuring diesel pickups and semis battling it out for supremacy. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. The Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the action starts at 7 p.m. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-day sidewalk sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples, like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10, Pepsi 24 packs, $11.99, Frito-Lay's chips, just $1.99, Gatorade 8-pack bottles, just $5.99, and Sunbelt granola bars, 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week, only at Hy-Vee.
Even though it's summertime, everybody's still busy, and that's where Hy-Vee Market Grill comes in. They've got the best dining value in town. Every day, they've got a meal deal from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And for $8 per person or less, you can treat the whole family to dinner, like smoked chicken Monday, pork chop Tuesday, cheeseburger and fries on Wednesday, and chicken enchiladas on Friday. And don't forget steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for $12. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's only at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week, I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up! Oscar!
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-471-9773. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-471-9773. 800-471-9773. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-471-9773 or biglou.com. That's 800-471-9773 or biglou.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is the Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold.
Brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
So we all know the stadium conversation moves on and on and on. In fact, yesterday when we were out at Kauffman Stadium for our Wittizens event, how many people did you have just come up and hey, what do you guys think? We were talking people from out of town. People from out of town. It's a constant thing. It's still like the number one conversation in the city. The future sites for the Royals and the Chiefs. And we know right now it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight, especially with the Chiefs seemingly looking more and more like an April ballot in Jackson County. The Royals, this term sheet thing with Clay County last week. Who knows, right, where this is going to go. But not that players should be involved in stadium conversations. But you thought it was interesting that Mahomes was talking about Arrowhead a little bit. And, he obviously said, quote, "I love Arrowhead." Okay, breaking news, right? Like,
sure.
Not surprised to hear that.
No, I'm not. But it's like a combination of like some of the conversations that I was having with my brother, the one who is a Broncos fan, in fairness, and a Broncos fan who was at part of the activation yesterday when we were there for the Wittizens event. Between that and the Patrick Mahomes thing, how much of this stadium stuff, one, does Mahomes saying, "I want to play at Arrowhead and that's where I prefer to play," have any impact? Do you think no?
No.
Then how much is the fear not over the, like, I wonder if part of the Chiefs' fear is not over the, "I don't want to tear down my dad's legacy," but this, "I like playing at Arrowhead." People fear playing at Arrowhead. Arrowhead has a mystique.
Yeah, that's real.
Part of it and not just like the nostalgia for the stadium, but that what I continuously hear from people who are non-Chiefs fans is you'll never be able to recreate having to go there to play a football game. And I'm still convinced it's more about the fans, but I wonder if internally that's part of their struggle. That you won't be able to recreate the fear you strike in opposing players having to enter a stadium that has allure versus you build a new building and it's just a building, right? It doesn't have the nostalgia or the history or all the things that come with it. And that's going to take away from the difficulty in playing in the environment because the level of volume, that's just the amount of people. Kansas City fans are loud. Any stadium they play in will be loud.
Well, if it's a dome, it also, I can promise you, going to be pretty loud.
To me, and I don't remember if it was one of you guys that said this or if it was Veach or somebody, but they said, Arrowhead is the people. It's not the building as much as it is the actual stadium itself. Because Detroit fans are very passionate, very loud. Obviously, Vegas and LA, the fans are not the same. So when we look at the Raiders stadium, when we look at, SoFi, the environment isn't the same because the fans don't make it that way because the fans aren't as passionate. They're not as there. They're not as into it. Chiefs fans are collectively, I think everybody agrees that they're some of, if not the most passionate fan base in the National Football League, where you couple that on top of the dome, on top of the fact it's Patrick Mahomes playing, on top of the fact that teams winning Super Bowls, they can create, it's not the same as Arrowhead, but they can create the same sort of buzz that creates it, that makes it a place that is must-see, an environment that people hate to go to, and it becomes renowned for.
Look, if they don't renovate Arrowhead, I think nobody's trying to convince anybody. I certainly am not when I talk about potentially a new stadium, even though I think that's the smarter path than $1.5 billion for an old stadium and all that. You're never going to have the same exact atmosphere as Arrowhead. It'll never be that, and I recognize that as well. I'm not trying to mislead people on that. I've just told you I think for a lot of reasons a new stadium makes a ton of sense, but. In terms of creating exactly what you had at Arrowhead, you're not doing that. It's special for a reason. Now, in terms of crowd noise, if you build a dome, it'll be plenty loud. I can promise you that. The worry, of course, is just if you have PSLs and things like that, does that drive a good chunk of your fan base that are quote unquote the diehards out of the building?
I'd be more worried about that than relocating or moving.
And we've heard that with the Super Bowl convo before, but Cody, you and I have gone to Super Bowls at this point in time, and everybody trying to act like it was a corporate crowd and it's not loud. It's been plenty. Like we've been to, I'm not trying to brag, but like we've been to 3 of them. Okay, each one, the atmosphere was incredible, absolutely incredible. Whether it was in Miami, whether it was in Vegas, or whether it was in Phoenix. I mean, it truly like plenty of that. Now, I will also say the reason why you don't let players make any bit of sway on this is, I know we don't want to think about this as we're in the middle of this golden era for the Chiefs, but if they build a new stadium or if they renovate Arrowhead, the end game of that, Patrick Mahomes will be like 36, 35, okay?
Yeah.
He's going to play in that new stadium or renovated Arrowhead for like 5 years, max.
Yeah, he is always, and I don't know if he's still holding that.
That's why you're not making a decision. Now, to me, you make a decision to build a new stadium because strike while the iron's hot. You've got everything going for you. But in terms of like Mahomes, the guy's going to play like 4 seasons or 5 seasons in whatever the stadium is.
It's been a couple of years. I don't know if he's talked about it since, but a couple of years ago, as you remember, he was, I think, right around the time Tom Brady's career was ending. He had made it kind of clear at that time he wasn't the kind of player who wanted to do this, play into his mid-40s. But I'll say, this actually should be a huge reason to do it. Patrick Mahomes and quarterbacks who throw well in general are way better inside. Less likely to get hurt, less elements, more precise. I know Binkley puts out the stat every year once we start getting around to the Super Bowl time of what he's done in a dome or a retro roof or everything else. He is still undefeated in a dome for what it's worth. I had to look it up. 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 3,600 yards in 12 games. So he's a nearly perfect quarterback inside. And if he's 36 years old, Gold, and you could tell me I could put his ass in the little bubble of a dome for the rest of his passing career, I don't hate that. I do not hate that. Rather than making 38-year-old...
How's he undefeated? The Super Bowl was in a dome last year in New Orleans, wasn't
regular
it?
Season, sorry.
Okay.
Regular
when you said that, I had to quadruple check because I'm like, I was about to say it. I was like, they just lost in a dome.
In the regular season. In the regular season.
Okay. I do wonder,
between retractable and dome, he is 16-1.
Okay.
I know that PSLs are like the new wave, if you will, in terms of like the new stadiums, but I wonder if, and this is not to... I think the team, if they know that the fans are as passionate as they are and they care as much, then why is it just a money thing? Why do they feel the need to have more PSLs to make the experience better when you could still have nice things for all the fans that actually care about the team more than just making it a festivity to go to?
Yeah, I mean, what you're describing is like going back to Cody and I always go back and like that's the utopian scenario. You're right. Like, why do they need to charge so much for like that's the utopian thing? Sure. Yeah, PSLs like it helps pay for the stadium, so the owner has to pay less. That's your answer.
You're just paying more, so they pay less.
Yeah, that's just what they are. You're right. Like, do they have to have them? Of course not. They don't have to. But
they'd be just fine.
But we also sometimes do forget like. They are businesses. Like for when it comes to sports state, now the argument is that like normal businesses don't get, they get tax incentives. Maybe they don't get the pure public financing, but plenty of businesses, which the Chiefs are, get tax incentives. I don't care if we're talking about the Buc-ee's coming out by the Legends by you, Drew, or not. They're getting tax incentives to build a Buc-ee's out there.
I will say there is part of me, and this just goes to like I get the utopian part of it. We don't have to get back into that conversation, but like sometimes I feel like if you're an OG owner, like. They paid $25,000 for it. You can back off on the PSLs. You got them for $25,000. Yeah, whoever bought the last NFL team had to pay like $80 trillion.
Yeah,
you got them for nothing.
Help us out.
I know why they
get it. It's just they are also businesses, and so they're going to operate like a business.
I don't think it would fully turn into this because I think the fan base is more passionate than those other places. But But what are the edge that Arrowhead has? With the decibel stuff, with the noise, how much does that dissipate if they go to the PSLs and all those other things that have an impact potentially, and just how much of a fortress the new stadium would be where nobody wants to play there because it's so hard to win?
Here's the thing. From cold, hard facts, I don't actually think anything changes. I think the new stadium will be just as loud. I think the new stadium will be filled with the same people. I think it'll be filled with the same energy. It is more about an immeasurable mystique than it is like a tangible thing.
Oh my goodness,
I think when they put a decibel meter in there, it will sound just as loud as it does now. But like, will it feel like? I think it's just a mystique. It's a feel. It's not like something you can actually measure. It's just like it's an unknown.
Yeah, and the visuals, right? Like it's the 15-degree snow game in the playoffs or whatever, and like that's a whole different vibe and challenge. For, we all know the Miami Dolphins. If the Miami Dolphins were coming, I think the Chiefs still would have won that game, but if the Dolphins 2 years ago in the wild card round were coming to Kansas City and it was 75 degrees and nice inside a dome stadium, the Dolphins maybe are more competitive in that game.
I do wonder how many games you've won. Let's say just the Mahomes year, 7 years. How many games do you think that they would have lost? Like 1, 2 total? If for like a warm weather team versus a team that had to come in here at any weather. Because Miami had to come here when it was cold a different time in a regular season. What's the... Is it buying you 1 or 2 wins to be outside when you're a cold weather town? Because it counts for travel, too. You can also win in the cold weather because you don't care. Right. I'm just like, what's that? What's the value of that? A couple wins?
I don't know if it buys you wins.
The regular season, I don't think it's about the regular season as much as it is like those games in the playoffs, yeah.
I don't know if it buys you wins as much as it is you know what to expect because you're there all the time. I don't know if it's an advantage, but I don't know if it's... Like,
I think it's.
I think it's a real advantage. Knowing how to play in the cold.
I understand.
I know it's not Lambeau, right? And we're not talking about the frozen tundra, but like
I don't know how many like dome teams I've seen failed in the playoffs because they couldn't play in the cold.
I'm having a hard stretch of saying it's buying you wins because they would have beaten Miami anyways. Like it wouldn't have mattered to me. So I don't know if it's maybe counts as buying a win as much as it is. It's a big advantage, but
it's maybe not that one, Drew. But maybe it's like not Buffalo because they play in the cold, but. Like, there are teams, I don't know how many times over the course of how long I've been watching football.
Even the
teams
regular
who
season,
can't- Who can't adjust to the weather.
I think I know we're having the convo obviously about like the elements and the impact on the football side, but maybe you guys disagree. I whatever the Chiefs decide to do, and none of us fully know, right?
I got no idea.
Whatever they
I've been trying to know.
Whatever they decide to do, whether it's renovate Arrowhead or build a new stadium, I don't think it's a football decision. It's 100% a business decision. So we can talk about what we think the impact might be on the football side and cold weather games and the opponent. And I think as fans, those are conversations people can have. But their decision is going to be all about business and maybe legacy in Clark Hunt's mind, right, because of his father. But otherwise, it's a business decision, and that's just like the Bills made a business decision when they built their stadium. Their new one is going to be ready in 2026. Like,
that one's not a dome, right? Or is that
that's
one
outdoors?
outdoors?
That one is outdoors. Now they're doing a kind of canopy thing where I think I saw something like 60% of the seats will be covered over this.
I like that.
And it's going to cut out on the wind. So it'll be outdoors, but it won't be like that will be one where actually will help Josh Allen a little bit in terms of throwing the football and dealing with the windy conditions. They get some crazy wind up at Bills games at times up there. I mean, again.
And they need to pay a few less laborers to go shovel out the stadium every time. That's always the most nuts, is be like, we'll pay a hot sandwich and $10 an hour. I'm like, what? Pass. I got to take it to the game or something? Otherwise, no chance. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have a business decision they have to make inside the next, 27 hours? Tomorrow at 3 o'clock is the trade tag deadline. If you don't know how it works, we've explained it a couple of times, but everybody's not paying that close attention sometimes. Because you franchise tag a player, you can only have until the tag deadline in order to reach a long-term extension. That deadline is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. If they do not reach a deal with Trey Smith by that time, he will then have to play under the franchise tag because he signed it for the rest of this year, and they will not be able to negotiate a long-term contract with him until the beginning of free agency next year. They get like a 1-week time frame essentially where other teams don't talk to you, but that's about it, and then you have to do it. This is the first time in a long time that I would say it's about any Chiefs franchise tag, but just an NFL tag deadline. This is the quietest I can remember anyone's contract this close to being decided. Is it because he's the only guy to tag? It's crickets. Nothing. I haven't seen a single report.
Because it's also a guard. Let's just be real.
Okay, because I've been actively
let's
looking for any news on Trey Smith. I can't find it.
If you're asking on a national scale, it's because we're not talking about a wide receiver. We're not talking about a defensive end. We're not talking about a quarterback. We're talking about a guard. Trey Smith's an incredible player, and I still think the deal gets done. But you're asking like nationally also why there's not a ton of conversation? Because we're talking about a right guard. I mean, I honestly think that's part of it. Why nationally there's not a ton of noise? Like Trey Smith's not. People, I think, that are really locked in the NFL are well aware of how good he is, but I think the casual fan probably doesn't know who Trey Smith is. I'm just being honest. Outside of Kansas City. And so that's why I don't think there's a ton of noise. Here in Kansas City, we're locked into it because he's been part of Super Bowls. He's very, very well liked in the community, and he wants to be here, and all that kind of stuff is true. But that's why I also think there's not a ton of worrying concern on a national level. I don't know, NFL Live, how much of a conversation? They're probably going to do something today.
I mean, he's
maybe.
the only guy on.
I understand. Yeah,
he's the only guy in the franchise tag, and it's again, some of it is the guard for sure, the regular. But NFL people aren't talking about it. National NFL people. Pelissaro, the Jeremiah, the Schefters, the people who are in the know and normally share some sort of update on this information have shared nothing.
The last update we got was really from him. Was when Trey was on with Kay Adams, and he really didn't even give an update.
Yeah,
it was more of I'm just letting my agents handle it. I'm getting ready for training camp basically. Yeah, he's not even too worried about it.
Yeah, and in the end, again, he didn't say anything. He just went about his business being I'll just let them he called them, what do you call them, all-stars, best in the business, whatever, when he's talking about the Chiefs front office. I've told you, the funniest thing about it is it weirdly gives me a sense of calm over it. Because I think it would be a big mistake if by tomorrow at 3 o'clock he is not under contract. I think we'll know before that. Normally you get the rumor to be it ain't happening.
1 o'clock tomorrow.
Or it is happening. That's about
Everybody said it. Everybody said that. Let's get a little prediction out there. All right. Give me the time and day. Is it happen today? Hour? What is it? I'm saying tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
Tomorrow at 7:30 a.m.
Okay. That's a strong one, too. Sometimes we get that early one. Yeah. What's your guess?
I'm going to wake up to it.
I thought it was going to be this morning. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I kind of thought we'd be talking about it on the show today. Noon. Lunchtime.
Okay.
Lunchtime.
So you're okay. I guess I'll play the Price is Right game. I said 1 o'clock, so I'm getting the back end of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Drew's going early. Drew's going early.
Yeah, he's thinking we're just going to wake up to the news of Trey Smith signed.
I still think. I mean,
it weirdly does give me a calm about it. Maybe it shouldn't, but
I
it does.
truly just think they have to get it done, man. Like, too many things are at play. The trickle-down effect of not being able to maybe do something with McDuffie. There's the impact of you already trading away Joe Thuney, and what a mistake it would be to have done that if you weren't able to get a deal done long-term with Trey Smith. There's a ton.
How much
There's
of
a ton at stake?
How much just the long term of this? Obviously, the implications you just mentioned, but looking ahead to how much of a distraction is it?
He's already signed it.
Yeah, it's not a distraction because he's playing on the tag this year already. Yeah, I mean,
and there's nothing to be done about it. Can't negotiate the contract. Can't do anything outside that. I told you the biggest issue is that it throws off all your plans. Can you restructure Mahomes? Can you give Trent his money? What can't you do because you don't know what the money is for Trey is the issue. It's like the trickle, and now you got to risk the fact that you'll be looking for a right guard next year because you can't be sure he's going to be under contract. But for the actual team this year, no distraction. I mean, I don't know if I'm way off on that. No distraction. He's under contract. He signed the franchise tag.
Yeah.
He has to play. Can't negotiate a contract. He's going to show up. Like, there's just not a lot of like.
You'll deal with it later. You'll try to figure it out in March or whatever it is.
Exactly. That's all it is. You're just kind of stuck where you are. So I don't worry too much about it. Now I'm looking like, okay, did I miss it? Time to go look in the system, and no. It's like to make sure, man.
Who do you think breaks the news? Is it Schefter? Is it a?
I guess I'll go with I'll go Rappaport.
Going Rappaport, huh?
Or Nate Taylor.
Kay Adams.
She said every other Chiefs.
Nate
player.
Taylor or Rappaport will be the first to break it.
All right.
Someone was asking, what did the Chiefs get for that Joe Thuney trade anyway? That was Joe Thuney in exchange for a 2026 fourth-round draft pick, I believe.
So technically, they haven't gotten anything for him yet. But also, you know.
Although, didn't they turn around and use that pick to trade up?
I think they did, didn't they?
Didn't they use that in this year's draft? Wasn't that part of the? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm trying to remember the. Oh gosh.
It was to get Gelati, wasn't it, in the third round? Because they got two third-round picks. Because it was Noah Williams and then Gelati.
I believe they used the Thuney pick to move up. So they already did, actually. I guess, Cody. I guess they already did utilize that.
Okay, they didn't technically take a player with it, but they used that to move up into the other one. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd guess Schefter or anyone else probably. Seems as likely as the rest. I'm just surprised there hasn't been any noise. That's all. Seems quiet. And I've just been waiting to find out.
Somebody gone to the local liquor stores to make sure nobody's bought any champagne. Are we back to that?
Man, that was a good one. Breaking that contract because you were like, somebody says big news is coming and it's not. You're like, unbelievable. Drew wasn't even here for that. He doesn't even remember.
Yeah, he's probably like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what exactly?
A couple years ago when Chris Jones signed his mega extension, how it started to kind of leak out there on social media. Somebody, what was her name? Do you remember? Katie, she worked at, I don't know if she still does, but she worked at a liquor store at the time.
She works at Casey Beer Company now.
There you go. But at the time, she worked at a liquor store, and a couple of representatives of the Chiefs came in and bought champagne bottles to celebrate.
Hey. And she, and she did the normal customer service thing, like, hey, and it wasn't Chris Jones, it was Mahomes' contract, and it was his extension. He had said, he's like, yeah, we're celebrating something. It's not Chris Jones, and so she was like, maybe Mahomes is, like. This guy makes it sound like something's happening, and then a few hours later it was announced that Patrick Mahomes had signed a contract. So she had kind of like
Mahomes or Chris Jones. I thought
it was Mahomes.
Oh, sorry, did I say?
In a way, almost broke.
It was Mahomes' deal. So she was the first. Yeah, and Schefter had fun with her and like joked with her on her podcast. I think she, she had her 15 minutes because she was technically. She didn't say it was, but she's like, maybe it's a Patrick Mahomes deal. And kind of like,
I don't know why I thought it was Chris Jones. Yeah, that makes more sense.
I think in the story originally she said, and it's not Chris. Like, they had said and it's not this one, right? Like,
gotcha.
Because there were a couple of things floating around, I think, at that time.
So yes, if you work at a liquor store and people representing the Chiefs buy a bottle of champagne, just send us a text, let us know with photo evidence, please. Thank you.
Can you imagine? It's all of it, and then it's like, hey, we paid Trent McDuffie, and it's like, wait a minute, okay, so you paid Trent, and you got the deadline for Trey? That would be weird. But.
Well, they can't. That's the whole thing. They financially, they need to get the Trey Smith one done first.
Yeah, they can't. I just think this happened with Chris Jones. They delayed contracts for multiple players once they didn't get Chris Jones under contract, and it made their cap situation harder. over the next couple of years because they had to eat a full year of fully guaranteed. No floating any money, Gold. No saving any money for next year. You got to eat $23 million for the year. Get you under the cap, but now no savings in the following year and everything else that comes in between. It just adds little hiccups, little problems if you don't get the deal done. That's why we're going to be paying attention to it here on the rest. So I hope he's under contract by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. Oh, man. Also, this is the third time today, I believe, we've seen someone say, hey, we see Nate Taylor got that job at ESPN. Really happy for him. Is he going to remain on your show? That is correct.
He is. He's still with 96.5 The Fan. We're very happy about that and obviously excited for Nate Taylor to be over at ESPN as well. I believe he's in Bristol, Connecticut today.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. I saw him Saturday at the media game. We lost, by the way. Cody must have known our team was going to lose. You didn't show up. You must have known that the team.
Wait, what?
I'm not here to be embarrassed.
So we lost 2-0. And here's what's bad. We only got 5 minutes on the. Thank you to the Casey Kern, by the way.
You lost 2-0 in 5 minutes?
Yeah. So here's what our team. Nobody was playing. Nobody was back at defense. I decided I didn't want to play defense. I wanted to play up. So nobody was back playing defense. Yeah. And
you're usually pretty good about playing defense.
Yeah,
so you had somebody. Cody held out.
He had some stuff come up. He had some stuff come up. But
that's tough.
He knew the team wasn't going to be good, so he said, I'm out.
I took a 0. Took a nothing. No decision.
A D&P.
Technically, it was on the team, though, so I do take the loss. It's
and
like being in the IL.
Everybody got
did not participate.
And as a result, nobody got hurt, I would assume. Nobody was diving.
Nobody got Trent Green. It was fun. Trent Green.
Everyone was safe only because I was off the pitch.
Trent Green was the ref for the game, and he came in like the area where the locker room or whatever room we were in, and he was joking around. He's like, the only thing again, nobody's getting hurt. Otherwise we're gonna be good. Everybody's gonna. So nobody got hurt. So it was fun, man. It was fun out there at Casey Kerr. So thanks to the Current for inviting us for the media game.
He threw anybody a red card?
He gave somebody a yellow, I believe.
Oh, wow.
He said he was trying to give someone a red card late so we get a chance at like one last shot at a goal, and we just ran out of time. 5 minutes goes by.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes
tight.
Is fast.
Yeah, it goes by very.
Normally,
very
don't we
quick,
get like 8 to 10 or something?
10, I think.
Yeah, that's for the sporting. I don't know what I didn't do. I haven't done the Casey Current one in a while, so I'm not sure, but. It was good. Yeah, it was good to be out there, man.
In honor of my did not participate, I'll put my current jersey in the Cody Gold garage.
Yeah, they still had your jersey there. I almost grabbed it. I don't know where it's at. Maybe they'll give it to you. Maybe they're gonna say, "Hey, you didn't play. You don't get it.
Burn it."
Yeah, they'll just keep it for next year. You're already on that team.
You have to guarantee your presence next year. That makes sense.
I will say though, our captain was Mackenzie Nelson, and she admitted, their team went to the practice. The team that won, ours didn't.
Sometimes so next year I'll practice.
Got to practice. All right, up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll talk more about our Wittizens event yesterday. A great success hanging out with all of you. We'll talk more about that whole experience at the K next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog. Yeah, that's right. Their Champions game over at Underdog. It's one of the leading places to make all your sports selections that you can play in your state. So you can be watching the Derby tonight, playing at Underdog on the Missouri side. Millions of fans have already won billions. Making plays at Underdog. Will you be next? Yeah, that's right. The Derby tonight. You can make those selections, higher or lower totals on home runs and the rounds and all this other stuff in normal baseball, home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. As we get closer to football, you can mix and match your sports as well. And once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money. So yes, if your entry is correct, you can turn $1 into $1,000 over at Underdog. Download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch every show, plus video clips and shorts, all right from your phone, desktop, or tablet. The Fan's YouTube channel at 965 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City. In Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
What's trending? Number one here on Cody in Gold. The Royals did salvage one game against the Mets with a walk-off win yesterday. Noah Cameron, 6 2/3 of an inning, a shutout baseball. Royals are 47-50 at the All-Star break and 4.5 out of a playoff spot. They will, of course, have 4 representatives in tomorrow night's All-Star game. Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Garcia, Carlos Estevez, and Chris Bubich. I just saw some photos from some of the guys that are obviously down in Atlanta already. They'll be there for the Derby tonight, just kind of hanging out. They're, of course, not participating, but home run Derby tonight.
Next up on what's trending, the MLB draft was last night. 23rd overall selection was Sean Gamble for the Royals. At 28, they took Josh Hammond. Both are high school prep players. Those were the first 2-round picks by the Royals. They've now since made like 5 or 6 round selections. I'm not going to list them all off for you. It was a high school heavy early part of the draft for the Kansas City Royals. We'll talk to JJ Picola tomorrow about what it is exactly they're hoping out of those selections. He'll join us at 10:30.
You think it was a gamble with the first pick, Cody?
Oh boy, if he gets to the bigs, people are
It's going to be ridiculous. The puns, it's going to be absurd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Any gambling reference they can possibly think of. By the way, the other Royals news that Michael Wittens is heading the 15-day IL retroactive to July 11th, so he'll be out to at least the 26th.
Yeah, so they said he was sick on Saturday. Well,
that was a lie, I guess.
He felt maybe he thought he was sick.
Maybe he threw up so hard that he strained an oblique.
No way.
Because that would be telling the truth, and also
that would be wild.
It's not. It could happen.
That would be a very baseball injury. Look, Drew got sick over the weekend due to eating at a Chinese buffet, which
I did not injure my oblique.
And you didn't? Okay.
No, I'm good.
How much did you throw up, though?
Were you projectiling, or was it not that way? Okay, it was. He wasn't throwing up. It was something else.
No,
okay.
no, I was. I was,
okay.
but
we were just trying to see if you were, projecting or not.
Could be both.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Could be a both situation.
Happy lunchtime. Next up on what's trending, the NFL might have another player that wants a new deal. Shocker, right? Adam Schefter reporting that Juwan Jennings wants a new deal or he wants to be traded. Right now, 49ers wide receiver is scheduled to make $7.5 million this year. This is the time of the year where we start to see this. You're in that window of a week or two before camp. It's like, hey, you want me to show up or not? You want to make this easy? This is perfectly timed. Juwan Jennings is just purposely doing this week or so. They probably knew they were going to do this week for months.
Juwan Jennings only has 1 year or 2 years, left on his deal. Although it's it's a void year. I take it back.
Yeah, this is it.
He has
right?
4 void years after this. He's 28 years old. And yeah, he'd like to do this. I got to say, the 49ers seem to have a higher than average amount of these. Is there some part about just because they've been good and that's factoring into this? Because it does feel like they've had a higher number than average of
once
these
you see other guys get paid
over the last couple of years. He's coming off a career year as well in which he caught 77 balls for 975 yards and 6 touchdowns. So he's probably just telling himself, this might be my best chance at a payday. I'd like it now.
Mm-hmm.
Next up on What's Trending, John Elway will not face charges related to the death of his longtime friend and business partner and former agent, Jeff Spurbeck, who died in April, of course, from the injuries suffered from when he fell off a golf cart being driven by Elway. By all accounts, did sound like an accident at the time. They didn't make it sound like there was alcohol or that kind of stuff involved. Really, really tragic stuff because they had known each other forever when that took place. But he will not face charges in the death of his longtime friend.
Lastly, on What's Trending, Greg McElroy said a person, quote, in the know, believes Nick Saban will return to coaching. He went on to say, if it wasn't someone notable telling me this, I would never say a word. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, but that's in What's Trending. Could Nick Saban get back into coaching?
I think I might know the school, too. Based on some comments that
UNLV.
he had. No.
I'm kidding. No. Obviously.
He's just going to go join and coach with Bill Belichick in North Carolina.
There's a spot where there's a spot that he recently spoke at that his coach could be on the hot seat, and I would not be surprised if he went back there.
He says back there. You think he's going back to the SEC, staying in the SEC?
I mean, why the hell would Nick Saban coach anywhere but the SEC?
Why would you think he would go to LSU? Interesting.
He was speaking about the LSU Tigers and how much he loved LSU. About a month ago,
he's going to go back and coach the Miami Dolphins and finally right that wrong, you know?
About a month ago, he was talking about how much he loved his time at LSU. I'm just saying.
He said, coach on the hot seat, Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat. He's going to go back to the Miami Dolphins. He's decided the NFL's his chance.
Oh, boy. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. You guys can hit us up on the Jay Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965. It is a Monday on the show. That means, of course, you want to visit our lunch partner every Monday, $5.99 classic burgers at 30 Hop. Our Monday lunch partner here on Cody and Gold. They're your new go-to, an American bar and kitchen with bold flavors, local taps, expansive patios, and unbeatable happy hour. Check them out in Lee Summit. Also, the brand new location right by us here in Merriam Grand Station. They're a proud lunch partner of the show. You can stop in for lunch, or how about you stay for happy hour, 30hop.com. That's 30hop.com. Local beer, American Eats, big patio.
It's a great spot, by the way. Check it out for lunch today, as Golden mentioned. I did want to thank anybody who attended the Wittizens launch event yesterday, because I got to say, I thought for the people willing to get a haircut, especially the ones, Gold, who do not walk into the stadium expecting to get a haircut. We had a few people, right? We talked about in the show. They were planning on being there. But then they saw Justin and Dewan cutting hair, and they thought, you know what? You're offering up a Bobby haircut. I'm in. And so the idea that people were willing to do it outside of that. Plus, I can't believe how close the lookalike looks. Nate Miller, our guy who won the Bobby Wood Jr. lookalike contest. We had a bunch of people, kids, adults. It's fun, right? Oh, look at all these people. They kind of look like Bobby, look a little bit less like Bobby. You're a senior Wittizens. I'm the older Bobby. All the options available to you. And then we just happened to get one. I mean, what? Like just his older brother, essentially? Because it's borderline dead ringer.
Yeah, at the Wittizens launch event yesterday, the lookalike contest, we could not have found a better lookalike. And we could have done this in every city yesterday in Major League Baseball. We would not have found somebody that looks closer to Bobby Wood Jr. than this guy. And you might have seen on not only our social media platforms, I know Major League Baseball has been pushing it out all over their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Today as well. And the comments are fun to read because people are like, which one? Someone was like, which one is actually Bobby?
Yeah, it's like you can't post two photos of Bobby Wood Jr. and expect us not to think that they're both Bobby.
So we do appreciate everybody that came out and everybody that made yesterday awesome. And of course, the Wittizens are officially sanctioned fan club, thanks to Major League Baseball and the Royals for backing this and helping with, obviously, us building this up. And this was just the first event. We plan on doing other things in the future, more details to come. But we did get to sit down in the Crown Club yesterday with the winner. And because the winner looks so close to Bobby Wood Jr., the TV broadcast picked it up as well. So shout out to Jake Eisenberg and Rex Hudler over on FanDuel. This was what it sounded like.
Wait, hold on a second. We've got a doppelganger. Is that Bobby?
That looks like it could be a relative.
That is Nate Miller. And he is quite a doppelganger. There's a new Bobby Wood Jr. fan club, the Wittizens. That's Cody Tapp on the right, Alex Gold in the middle. He's got the goatee drawn on. And they had a look-alike contest this morning for this new fan group. Nate Miller won. You can understand why. But they got the sunglasses, they got the wigs, they got the eye black.
That's beautiful.
I mean, if you look quickly, man.
That's so funny. I love it.
I mean, that is uncanny.
Nice idea. They all got the goatee, and they all got the glasses, the goggles, the welder's goggle glasses.
Yeah, they were out in the parking lot today, not only doing a look-alike contest, but they were doing Bobby Wood Jr. style haircuts. They brought in a barber, and you could select your hairstyle and try and match Bobby. They were having a lot of fun this morning.
Can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
So thanks to Hud and Jake there talking about it. I guess they cut back and forth multiple times. We were getting texts during the game when that was happening or whatever. And I think I texted Jake in our group chat yesterday. I was like, by the way, that's not drawn on, man.
That's a real goatee.
I was like, I grew this out for a week just for this event. And the reason why I still have it today, if you're watching on the video stream, is because we got burnt yesterday. Unfortunately, did not bring sunscreen. That was dumb on our part. And my face, I'm worried if I shaved it last night, the red, I'm worried I'd have like a white outline of a goatee. So for at least one, maybe 2 more days. And everybody's thrown off at work by this. Rob, he gave me a weird look when I walked by.
You don't look like you. You're evil Alex
It's a
or whatever.
completely different look. People say I look like Brad Paisley today. I got a hat on, which I never wear a hat. And then I obviously never have a goatee. So here we are.
So I would like to know, 913-586-7965. We have ideas. We want to know what you would want to see too, because we want the Wittizens stuff to grow. Like I see somebody on Twitch asking, hey, where can we get the Wittizens merch? We'll have more of this stuff to hand out as it goes. I believe clothing and those things are coming as well. We're working on those things. Takes us a little bit of time. We've been working on this idea, but it also takes a little bit of time to go through all the hoops you got to go through to do it. Because like yesterday, we had a full-blown real barber setup. Real barber chairs, real barbers. Justin and Dewan did an incredible job given the styles yesterday. And so, we had signs. We have that stuff. We've got flags now that say Wittizens and Bobby Wood Jr. on them. So we're trying to make an effort. But what kind of Wittizens events do you want to see? You want us all kicking it at a Whataburger with Bobby? Do you want to, what do you want to see out of, so that we can help grow the Wittizens does interest me, because we oftentimes are choosing these events based on what we think you want. But I kind of want other people to, chime in as well, if that makes sense, Gold, so that we can do this. Because honestly, we couldn't have, it ended up helping so much yesterday. Nate looks so much like him.
Of course.
And you and I were wearing, by the way, the crowns. If you ever want to get attention at a Royals game, walk around the stadium with a crown on your head. Alex and I got no short of 25, 30 comments from people walking around with those things. How many did you get? We were walking together a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, well, they stand out. Turns out it's not normal for people to wear.
Why not? Royals, blue,
mullets and crowns around there. But
a lot of people thought our hair was real under those things, man. They thought we were just rocking long hair under there.
Yeah, we had different wigs on Sunday than we did during the whole week. The ones we had on Sunday were professionally cut by the barbers, so that's why those wigs look great. It turned out well. Someone said you should do a Wittizens cookout. See, I think if we went food though, that'd be more of a working with Whataburger kind of thing. I think if we did the food angle.
Yeah, and look, we know some of the things that Bobby has supported in the past, right? It's pretty clear he supports some of the ALS research stuff, and I think it's made it, for the same reasons you see the other things players are interested in. We know Bobby's very big into the card hobby.
Yes, he is.
So,
yes,
we would be interested in doing a Wittison event that includes the card hobby, whether that be with Bobby there or us. But, we're looking for things that we think other people would enjoy. That's all. And I want to see, kind of those things go. It was tough. On the end of the contest, we did run into a little bit of rain. So thank you to everyone who bared with us as we bumped up the contest by 10 minutes in an effort to not get totally soaked, although that didn't go great, the not getting totally rained on part, but at least it worked. But yeah, you can text us in, you can send us DMs on social media. I'm just curious moving forward as we try to keep growing the Wittizens. How it can go. And yeah, thanks to Jake and HUD for throwing us a little support last night. That's also, I got to say, a side perk of the job of you and I sitting in crown seats, not that bad. Nate had said many times he can't believe that was the rest of his day. And his wife.
No, we were very fortunate. The rain delay Crown Club was a nice perk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got more time there. That's not.
By the way, you finish your sentence that you said about his wife because otherwise out of context.
No. You started that and I was like, his
wife
did an excellent
out of context. It sounded very weird.
His wife did an excellent job doing more hard work than him. She deserves credit for doing honestly, did way more work.
We'll get that saved as a drop. Because I cut you off at the way.
You did, because I was like, I guess I just won't finish that sentence.
At first you said, his wife. And you didn't finish the sentence.
Maybe about anybody. No, his wife did an excellent job. She had to work harder. He wanted to make sure that she got the credit.
Okay, all right.
Let me go and get, you just had two other drops in there as well. Just a second ago.
Cody. I stand by it. Somebody said last night that I see that the winner was wearing an autographed Bobby Wood Jr. jersey. Yeah, the jersey he won before the game, he kept on. He took the bat, I think, back to his car. But the jersey he was wearing at the game.
Yeah.
And then he was also, obviously, the crown seats were a part of the prizing. That's why he was sitting down there with Alex and I. Yeah. We just figured getting on camera would be a good way to grow the Wittizens. So if you want to join, you pretty much just by supporting Bobby Wood Jr., you can join. But also join us as we continue to do more events throughout the city related to it. Oh, his wife did an excellent job.
That's the way
you just needed to.
I got so defensive there at the end.
Yeah.
No, the beginning part was funnier because I cut him off accidentally.
I will go and find that part.
Someone wants a duo autograph Wittizens collector card with Bobby and Nate.
That's funny. That's funny. Get Tops.
Bobby, he signed a baseball yesterday because somebody asked him to. Timu Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, you joke about the.
He absolutely. So if we get a card that says Bobby Wood Jr. and Timu Bobby, I might be able to accomplish.
You joke about that, but Tops loves to do random cards. I'm not even saying that's not even a thing that is a 0% chance. I think there's actually a potential chance they would do a doppelganger Bobby card. I actually think there's a possibility they would do that.
Well, now I want to do that. We should obviously now. Absolutely.
I'll explore.
I'm gonna reach out to the card collecting game.
I will explore that. We'll talk to some contacts.
I'll have to chase that card so hard though.
It'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Seriously, I'll shoot an email over to somebody. We'll see. That'd be pretty cool.
You know the VP at Tops?
No, but I know other people that have contacts at Tops. I don't personally. I don't. They're not my contact.
Okay. Look, great ideas are already coming to life.
Major League Baseball is a strong partner with Tops, so.
Yeah, that I might be able to do. Someone is asking for the status on your Caitlin Clark card. We're going to do updates on this show. We can do one Monday. We're going to do updates on the show every Friday to let people know where Gold's Caitlin Clark card is.
Let me
it doesn't
check.
end until the first week of August or so, Gold. Is that correct?
The auction has 26 days and 8 hours to go. Okay. We are at 2,000 as of right this second. At Golden. And I by the way,
it started at
a
1,000?
few listeners I know for a fact, I can't see them, but they have told me through message that actually put in a bid or two. So, yeah, hey, if you want to win the card, go for it.
If you'd like to own gold,
Caitlin Clark 101 card. Yeah, it's at $2,000 right now. We got 26 days or whatever to go.
All right, I'm about to play this for you. I found it.
Oh, man.
Cody, I told you. It's the way they're out of context.
He kind of cut me off, and then I was like, I can't figure it out.
I haven't saved it yet.
I put myself in a
Hang on
bad spot. You made me it worse.
No, you need to listen to the audible gasp.
Yeah, that's why it's worse. That's why it's worse. Listen to this.
And his wife.
No, we were very. That's why it's like. I mean,
but the next one it's going to be like, wow, she really helped him out by letting him have a dream. You know what I'm saying? The sentence was going to make sense.
But before you finish the sentence, at first, though, people would assume you're talking about the appearance.
But I wasn't.
Then you said when we circle back to it, his wife did an excellent job, and then you just wouldn't stop.
Sorry, Nate.
I didn't do anything wrong here.
That's Cody's fault there, you know?
I am saving it now.
That's funny. Oh, man. Sometimes I think it'd be cool to have a Wittizens section. That I can tell you we definitely have thought of. That's hopefully something in the future.
That's something we're definitely working on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're open to suggestions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And his wife.
No, we were very...
Yeah, we were.
Goodness.
You were starting to talk in the middle of that breath, too. So it's like,
gosh,
I couldn't even get.
Oh man! All right, we know the MLB draft is technically going on still as we speak.
Yeah, right now.
But yesterday, first round, Royals had a couple picks. Like we're not going to spend a ton of time on it because, frankly, these are kids that are in high school. Okay, and we're talking if everything pans out 4 years from now, probably, or 5 years from now, maybe. But they had two picks, 23rd overall, Sean Gamble, 28th overall, Josh Hammond. It sounds like based off of the pick at 23, that was an under-slot pick, so they could go over-slot maybe at 28 overall. We'll talk more about these guys tomorrow with J.J. Piccolo a little bit and just the kind of this feel of the draft compared to last year. Some of the experts say this was a weaker draft class, not for the Royals, just as a whole.
In general.
The entire class.
Actually, a couple of people around baseball really
like what the Royals have done,
yeah.
But this is what I want to start actually with the Josh Hammond pick because I think most people believe actually the 28th overall pick might be more of a legitimate prospect in terms of fast forwarding down the road. But this is what MLB Network had to say about him.
With the 28th pick of the 2025 MLB draft, the Kansas City Royals select Josh Hammond, a shortstop from Wesleyan Christian Academy, High Point, North Carolina.
Josh Hammond drafted as a shortstop. We talked about this kid a little bit in the preview show. He was committed to Wake Forest. Some scouts think he's one of the best hitters in this entire class among prep players. His numbers this year, he was a two-way kid. A lot of people liked him on the mound, be it 471, on-base kind of kid. D-Row, what do you think of Josh Hammond?
I'm a big fan of Josh Hammond. I'm a big fan of a two-way player here. And when I think about him, I mean, everything you see a lot on the mound, big upside on the mound. And you can tell he wants to hit the baseball as well. I mean, this is nasty stuff. He's got an elite breaking ball, ability to spin it. He gives me a comp. We went through this with Austin Riley back in the day. A lot of teams saw Austin Riley as a pitcher coming out of the draft. Austin wanted to play third base and turned into a monster. So it remains to be seen what the Royals do if they keep him as a pitcher or he moves to third base. But
Another player drafted that has an option, maybe to end up pitching as well.
They didn't really entertain it with Cags, but also he was a college player. So what do you do when you got an 18-year-old? Do you let them explore both for now? Because his fastball reportedly reached like 95, 96 miles an hour in high school. So they were saying he would have been because of the movement, he probably would have been a later round, 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th.
As a pitcher.
As a pitcher, he wouldn't have been. But if he's a 5th round guy, that does mean that there's some talent there and some possibility there. Same rule applies. I'd let him explore both. What if it turns out he's 18? What if one booms instead of the other? Can't you train someone to do both? He's been doing both his entire life is always my argument. That I don't think that's going to throw him off skills-wise in order to...
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, we hear about his name today, and you're not going to really hear anybody talk about him for 3+ years at least. You know what I mean? It's unless you're really deep into it and looking at A-ball stuff.
I would give Or you're in the card hobby to the previous
mentioned. Bowman draft next year,
Yeah.
By the way, Ethan Holiday, who ended up going to the Rockies, everybody thought he was going to be the number 1 overall pick. He went 4th overall. That was a shock. That was surprising.
A lot of what it comes down to is I would tell baseball, like, hey, do a better job telling people when the draft is. Why are you still drafting in the middle of the Monday at noon? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you can't get hyped for an MLB draft. I won't see at best case scenario. I'll watch Sean Gamble or Hammond come up if they're superstars 3 years from now. If they're really good players 4 years from now. If they're an average player 5 or more. And if we're talking,
yeah, it's just
like
so
that,
far
it's hard to get
out.
hyped
It's so
about a
far
guy
out.
5. It'd be like looking at a sophomore in high school football. I mean, can't wait till he's a Chief. Like, why? He's not close to being an NFL player.
Yeah,
so it's just hard.
And last year's draft class is unique too. I mean, we've had 5 players from last year's draft class get called up in baseball this year, including Jack Caglione, Chase Burns. There's numerous players been called. That's not normal. That's not normal. And that was because of a bunch of college. But that was a lot of college players. I mean, Chase Burns was out of Wake Forest. Cags obviously was Florida. And those are just 2 of the ones I can think of at the top of my head. But there was 5 of these guys that have already been called up. But that's a college-heavy draft last year. Just not the same talent.
Were you disappointed that the only person we knew who they might take at that point of the draft, Cruz Schoolcraft, was available? They didn't take him.
He didn't get taken. I don't know if
the
they
only
were,
guy we
he went to the Padres.
talked about on the show.
He went to the Padres a couple of picks later. I don't know if they were thinking that he would make it to them at 28 or what. But yeah, because he was 6'8", you're like, okay, that's a presence on the mound. But yeah, he's a Padre. Darn.
I just mentioned.
I won't forget that name though. I'll tell you that. Well, that will be a name that's hard to forget. Schoolcraft. So
yeah, I think so. But at least we'll see which way it goes here.
all right, coming up next here on Cody and Gold, we'll talk more about the first 100 games for the Royals, including what John Sherman had to say, plus the random question of the day here on 96.5 The Fan.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Maybe you've noticed a slight drip, a little leak. Maybe that hail came through a couple of weeks ago and you weren't sure who to call. Century Roofing is the company in Kansas City you want to trust, a local company with 35 years of experience and a warranty they will stand behind and be around to honor. They've handled over 30,000 roofs in the Kansas City area. They've worked on my roof. I've had multiple repairs done. As our roof is starting to age, we are worried we might need a new one. They were honest. They said, no, you don't need a new one yet. Let's do a few repairs. There is life left in this roof. And if a storm comes through and hail impacts your roof in a way that might warrant a claim, the only place I would call is Century Roofing, because I know that they have the experience it takes to work with your insurance company when it's worth filing a claim. They do free inspections, so they'll take a look at it for you, tell you if you need repairs, tell you if you need a new roof, help you work through those things, and choose through all their great options. It does not matter the style of roof, the material of the roof, they can handle those things. They've also been voted best roofing company in Johnson County for 3 years in a row. Trust the pillars of strength and go with female-owned and locally owned Century Roofing. That's centuryroofingkc.com.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-day sidewalk sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples, like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10, Pepsi 24 packs, $11.99, Frito-Lay's chips, just $1.99. Gatorade 8-pack bottles just $5.99, and Sunbelt granola bars 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week only at Hy-Vee.
Even though it's summertime, everybody's still busy, and that's where Hy-Vee Market Grill comes in. They've got the best dining value in town. Every day, they've got a meal deal from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And for $8 per person or less, you can treat the whole family to dinner, like smoked chicken Monday, pork chop Tuesday, cheeseburger and fries on Wednesday, and chicken enchiladas on Friday. And don't forget Steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for $12. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's only at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. 11 elite classes pulling on 2 tracks, featuring diesel pickups and semis battling it out for supremacy. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. The Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the action starts at 7 p.m. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Free trial is 7 days. If customer does not cancel prior to the end of a trial period, fees will apply.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thanks for meeting me here. It's just, you're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion. Do you see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there? That's all I paid for it.
Let me get back to you on that. Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Palisade, Santa Fe, and Santa Fe hybrid models. And check out our other great deals at your Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends September 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating and Cooling Studios.
Random question of the day coming up in 8 minutes. Hope your Monday is going great. Good weekend. All-Star break. As they say, the deadest week in sports. All-Star Home Run Derby tonight. We'll get to some odds on that in the 1 o'clock hour. All-Star game tomorrow. Then Wednesday, I think, is like the ESPYs or whatever it is. Just let me know the highlights on that one. Give me the monologue, and I'm good. That's all I need.
Who's even hosting that?
We just talked about this. It's Shane Gillis, right? Isn't it Shane Gillis?
Oh, yeah. I think I remember seeing a commercial, I think.
I believe he's at the ESPYs Wednesday night, and then he's in Kansas City this Saturday at T-Mobile.
Oh.
Got to get our guy Vinny there, since apparently they sound similar.
A lot of lookalike stuff here recently, huh?
I didn't say that was a voice.
It's more of a voice thing, yeah.
I don't have more than one lookalike contest for me, other than who does Alex look alike? Based on his current goatee.
I just saw the video that
trucker hat vibe.
I saw our social media team put out our royal decree video today, and it just looks. I watched it. It's startling for me to look at and watch.
It doesn't.
Is that really me?
I will say you look 5 years older.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound so crazy.
It's also the hat, man.
With the hat, your eyebrows look different with the goatee. That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Just your face looks different. Your eyebrows don't look the same as they normally look in the hat and the goatee. I don't know, man. Something's different about it. I can't put my finger on it, but it definitely looks like you're getting ready to go head up.
Oh, it's totally a different personality.
Hot country nights.
Yeah.
Go get
a can of Chew and some Bud Light.
It does feel like you're getting ready to get a dip. That for sure. That almost feels like a lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, Binkley's the guy who has the goatee unlocking. You can't be taking. Yeah. You're stepping into his territory.
This is just because of the Bobby Witt thing yesterday, our Wittizens contest. Maybe have this for one more day. That's it. Enjoy it, Cody. This is the last day. Maybe tomorrow. I might keep it one more day. That's it.
You're just trying not to look worse because if you have a
I don't want the sun. I got sunburn yesterday.
Sunburn goatee.
And I don't want the white outline basically of a goatee. It'd be terrible. Great, funny for you guys, not funny for me.
You have to grow the beard there for a minute.
Well, that's why I think if I shave tonight, I think I'm going to start shaving. I'm not going to shave the stash first because I could always leave the stash if I had to.
That's going to look even weirder.
No. What I'm saying, you see people with only a stash. I can't shave the stash and then realize it's going to leave an outline. Only have. What am I only going to have a soul patch, a goatee or something? No, I feel like I have to shave the lines
every
first.
day this week. Can you just have you have the goatee today?
Oh, and then you want me to have a mustache only tomorrow?
Just a mustache.
God. I mean,
or just the soul patch, but then you just make it even smaller.
Wait, tomorrow you want me just to have a stash? Oh, gosh.
Slowly shrink the facial hair.
Just a stash tomorrow?
Get rid of the body. Leave the little, I don't even know what this is called.
Yeah,
like right under the lip. Yeah.
Next,
my gosh.
Stash. Right?
Dude.
Handlebar.
Yeah.
So wait, you want me to shave this?
Yeah, Fu Manchu.
Just
then you can go up to stash.
That's right.
That would be. I mean, I might do it while I'm shaving, just to
see.
Just to see. But someone says mustaches are having a moment. Do it. Yeah. If I'm keeping anything tomorrow and I've already shaved the stash, I would for fun keep the stash for one day. But that's I don't know about that, man. I don't know. Anyway,
like you said, we'll get to the random question in just a moment. But let's talk about where the Royals are. We are at the All-Star break. It is not the halfway point. They are more like 2/3 of the way through the season than they are. Yeah, we're almost exactly 2/3 of the way through the season than they are halfway through at this point. John Sherman talked about where this team is right now. JJ Picollo talked about the trade deadline the other day, and we can play those in just a minute. But I think the simplest way to put this, I'm glad they salvaged the game, right? We talked about the Wittizens event. Can't believe walk-off winner after the game that was blown gold on Friday. Huzzahs all around. They needed that one. But the problem is that I think you had said it earlier, and this is probably the best way to put it. It is so hard to not say that they're a disappointment. And it's just based on where they've been so far this year. And it is really hard because they are in no man's land. What do? Do you sell just Lugo? Do you buy? If you buy, they only have to have control. Do you just play with the team you have and hope that they play better, which isn't crazy. Very similar team to last year. Those players play better. And some of their players are playing better. Bobby's playing better. Vinny's playing better than the first couple of months when they got behind the 8 ball a little bit, right? Or the first month when Vinny was struggling at the plate. So, do you just hope for better times? That happened. I do point out the one. The Tigers last year were about in the spot. The Royals are now.
I understand.
And then they got hot.
And I hope that happens.
But now the Tigers are the best team in baseball, so maybe it was just that.
Right. And I hope I would trust me there's a lot of reasons why I would love for the Royals to turn this thing around and end up in the postseason and make a run and all this dream scenario stuff. Would love that to happen. Selfishly, it would be great for this show if that happened too. But this is what happens in sports a lot of times too. Like, well, the Tigers did it last year, like acting like that's the common thing. You know why it was such a big story? You know why we remember that the Tigers went on a run? Because it was kind of out of nowhere, not expected. It's not supposed to happen. So like citing something that was not supposed to happen as like,
and is rare.
That's my only thing of like, I don't know how realistic it is, but in terms of how they operate, yeah, I mean the first half was extremely disappointing, especially when you end up with 4 All-Stars. So you got talent on the team to a certain extent, but your offense is still pacing for its worst year in franchise history. And how they operate over the next week and a half, I think it's very clear. At one point we were talking about like by now knowing for sure how aggressive, barring them coming out of the break hot, then I think they're going to be very measured with what they do. I still think they'll trade Seth Lugo. Michael Lorenzen's hurt now, so I don't know if that changes it. And then would they be willing to trade one other piece or not? Or are they willing to trade a prospect for multiple pieces? Because that'll tell us how much they really think this group can still get it done this year. If they're trading prospects, and I'm not saying that they should, if they're trading prospects to try to get help for this year and next year, that tells us how they view this team like right this second. If it's somebody that they're trading for that's coming back and is going to be on the big league roster immediately, that tells us a lot. If they trade Lugo for some prospects, they trade Lorenzen for a random reliever, or something like that, then that's a whole different vibe. That's basically being status quo.
Yeah, it is, but part of me, I don't know. This is kind of like, I understand that most of the time people hate inaction because it never feels like the right. It doesn't feel like you're making the right move. You're not making an effort to go with it. But let's say they trade Lugo, because that just feels like I still think that that's not buying or selling Gold in any way. It's just he's an expiring contract and you're not sure where you are, so you let go of this one player. Part of me kind of thinks that the best move the Royals can make is not even trading for an outfielder. Solving that problem in the offseason, just saying, I hope these guys play better, but without Lugo. And you make the one move on the expiring contract that makes sense, and you make that adjustment, and you just do everything else the same. Because I'll be honest, based on the position they're in right now, and because I do think that they still have a lot of talent, I also don't want to give up where their system is. I don't want to give up big-time prospects out of their system for a player right now, even if that player has multiple years of control. I feel like I'd rather just make an off-season decision on that. Where's the free agency market? Who are the players I can acquire with those same prospects in the offseason? I kind of feel like at this point, if it were me, I would trade Lugo and do nothing else. I wouldn't add a player. I would just play baseball the rest of the way.
There's a chance that's how it plays out.
And hope that they play better.
Yeah,
play better.
There's a chance that's how it plays out, that ultimately is all they do. I think what you said about prospects and, when to trade them, like for that, I wouldn't be against that in season. I think where I agree with you is Chris Bubich, now's not the time to trade him. If you think you're not getting a long-term deal done, okay, get that feel in the offseason, and we're sitting here in December or something. There's a big trade in December. They trade Chris Bubich for multiple pieces. Maybe it's an outfield bat, whatever, right? I don't think you want to do that trade now. Now trades are Lugo, Lorenzen if he's healthy again, and then are you willing? Is there anybody else you would be looking at and you'd be willing to trade? It's tricky because who has it? It's easy to say I'll trade away a player who has value to other teams. I mean, you've brought up Freddie Fermin. I don't know if what you get back for him is actually worth losing him. Does that make sense? Like, I think he's more valuable to you than what you would actually get back from him for another team. Yeah, every other team wants to have a catcher with versatility and everything, but I don't know if there's another. If you're getting enough back for a Freddie Fermin type to make it worth trading versus just keeping him on the team and getting what you're getting.
Because again, those guys have control. That's where I think things get kind of interesting, at least on that end. And I'm not sure which way they'll go off of that. But yeah, I would be kind of, I know this sounds, normally I'm kind of with you. It's like, do something. But this goes back to the All-Star game conversation, which we can get to in a little bit too. But it's just, I don't think that the team is talentless. I think they have a superstar in Bobby Witt Jr. I think they've got a lot of other very good players. Their issue is inconsistent hitting. And at this point, sadly, their best chance to make the playoffs is not to acquire a bat, give up young guys in their system in order to get a multi-year controlled bat. Their best way to winning this year and in the future is to develop hitting better and to bring those guys up and to simply just hit better with the hitters that they have. And really that one's down to like Cags for the most part. I'll say Salvi's hitting quite a bit better. Mikel's hit well all year. Bobby's hit well all year. Vinny's hit all year except for 5 weeks at the beginning of the season. So it's been a long time since he struggled. They need Cags. They need to lengthen their lineup and get to that point where when you're talking about guys like John Rave or if Michael Massey comes back from injury after the All-Star break or these others, that those are just ancillary bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9. They're not the source of your offense. And so we've seen a little bit of improvement in that in the last couple of weeks. Not a lot. Little improvement on that last couple of weeks. But your only chance to get to the playoffs this year is very simply if the players you have on offense hit. Like not some maybe in addition that's like swapped out for Lugo and they hit. But it's got to be there first or it just doesn't work.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Over in the text line, 913-586-7965. Of course, the random question today is brought to you by Kansas City Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. Visit kcurology.com today. The question I have for you today is twofold. One, are you interested? And two, I'm going to ask you a follow-up after that. It was announced today that for a 3-day weekend, the Palms in Las Vegas will be kicking off a Uno social club.
Yes.
As in they will have legalized gambling for the game Uno at their property during that time. It's at the Palms Casino Resort. One lucky winner and a guest. You can enter to win. We'll have a chance to stay in the hotel and do all these things. But you can get into this contest. Give yourself a chance. There's Uno Golf where you match colors and numbers. Uno Teams. Players still match colors, numbers, and symbols, but instead every man for himself. Or Uno Show No Mercy. More time cards to do this. So the question is, would you play Uno for money?
So I don't want to kill the vibe. I don't want to kill the vibe. There's an update to this. We can pretend. We can pretend if you would like for a second. I have a bad update for you with this.
We don't get to bet money on it?
No, I have a bad update. So there's not even kidding. There's a brand. This came out within the last hour, and for a while everybody thought this was going to happen. So did we. So did I think everybody's been talking about this weekend. But the Uno Social Club was a marketing ploy and has caused much confusion online. Let's read you. This is a snippet from a legit outlet. Various news outlets and social media accounts have erroneously reported that the Palms partnership with the popular American pastime game is being overhauled into a casino game. The Palms and Uno Pact is instead a promotional vehicle for the card game to allow one Uno fan to receive a 3-night stay at the resort in a Uno-themed penthouse. Numerous influencers were invited to check out the space this past weekend where they bowled, sipped on Uno-themed cocktails, and played the card game. Palms didn't allow Uno players to stake money on the outcome of the game as that would violate its Nevada gaming license. So this is saying it was all a marketing ploy. Here we are, we're talking about it, but it's not true.
What's
so
the difference? If I can play poker at a table, you should let me play any game. I should be allowed, a $500 buy into a game of Monopoly, and we play.
Yeah.
We roll the dice, we play, we take our chances. Wouldn't it be fun if you could go to the casino and play like a game? It's a game of skill, just the same.
It'd be fun,
it's
but
like
this
playing
goes
poker. I'm playing a game against people to compete.
You get your $500 buy-in. You get Uno reversed to lose your
it'd be
money
fun.
instead of lose. It'd be crazy.
It'd be fun, but this is what you just described, though, is the exact reason why, what you did, the exact sentence you just said 30 seconds ago, which is but I basically already do this, would be the whole thing for years. Well, I can do fantasy football, but why can't I bet in my state? Same kind of thing. An argument.
Same things. I'm just saying it's a game of skill.
I know. It'd be pretty cool if they had it. You and I were planning on going out there and playing it when we were there in Vegas in August, but that's not going to happen. I guess it was a marketing ploy, and I guess it worked because we're talking about it.
We will be saying it's Circa, by the way.
Yeah,
coming up. If you want to come join us, their contest weekend is coming up in August. You have to be in Vegas to enter it, but you can play from anywhere. Plus, Alex and I are going to be there. Love to see you out for a show. We're going to have fun out there at Contest Weekend coming up in August.
We'll be there Wednesday, August 20th through that Saturday. So I think that would mean that Friday night would be the 22nd. But that's the contest weekend to sign up if you think you have done well in Survivor maybe already. You got a small Survivor pool you do with some buddies. How about taking to the big stage, head out to Las Vegas. You can enter, and then, you just submit your picks each week. But you do have to initially enter out there, and you guys have heard us talk about Circa plenty. That place is absolutely insane. I don't go anywhere else now in Vegas, seriously. I used to go to the Strip a lot. Don't need to go to the Strip in Vegas. I just go right to Circa. We'll be staying there. Stadium Swim, world's largest sports book. It's awesome. We'll be bringing some content from there, and cannot wait for the Survivor and the Against the Spread contest. We're working on doing an entry together on this one. We're going to try to get maybe a spec involved too.
So, the boss involved?
3 or 4 of us.
Is that a dangerous game?
3 or 4 of us. Let's do an entry this year. For I don't think we should do Survivor because as much as I love it, that could be done right away. Spread, we know we're releasing it for the full football season.
Yeah,
you know?
And they do it in quarters, so you have a chance to if I start bad, I can still save a quarter kind of thing, I guess, outside of that. But if they had a Vegas vacation style casino, are you in? But it's just the games from your kids. So you could sit down at a table and me, you, and Drew can have chips and we can play Uno, right? We could just, it's an ante situation. We play out the hand, or you could play Monopoly or Hearts.
Could you imagine if
card
it was
games you play but aren't, aren't
Could
poker.
you imagine if they had an interactive operation and it's like, if you buzz aside, you lost
my
$25
God,
bucks.
dude, I would be next. Could you imagine the pressure of watching someone
No,
next
the
to the
problem
table
is you're having-
with the buzzing and stuff? They could put soundproof headphones.
That's what it is. Yeah, you had.
You're in a booth. I think you're in a booth.
You had a few things to drink. Your hand is like you're gonna just. Oh, it'd be terrible.
Just some like guy who's like shows up in his lab jacket straight from the hospital. He's like, I got this. Just they'd have to it'd be like the guy who's counting cards. You can't have some Dr. James Andrews that can't get his ass in there. Two hands are too steady.
Yeah,
we can't be risking him playing operation.
Right, there's limitations. Yeah,
but I just love the idea that you and 6 people are sitting at a table game of casino, and we're playing Candyland, and I hit goal. He has to hit he hits the unfortunate candy slide and has to go back down.
That would be the worst.
And you're just like, no.
I think it would.
No.
You would have more it would feel more like a genuine have your friends over, play party games type of reaction rather than dang, I just lost my money because I didn't have the hand or I didn't hit the number on roulette and it's whatever. It would feel more intense, I think, if you have to draw 4 or whatever and you're down to Uno and you get hit with a draw 4 and you're like, really? There's more, I think, emotional moments with the games that you're talking about.
I guess
Cody.
I'll tell you what, as a person who gambles on almost anything,
It makes
all
it more
the
fun,
time,
though, too.
especially with my family, I can't believe we haven't bet on stuff more often. I can't believe we're not playing Yahtzee for money in this. I feel like we should play more kids games, but for cash as adults. Well, because this is you're hanging out, you're doing all this stuff. I'm not trying to play I'm not bringing a whole roulette wheel to my house. I got enough problems with the law over the course of my life.
You're just trying to play sorry.
You can just add. Cody
can
could add to his underground gambling that he has at his house. Just add a roulette wheel. There you go.
We're gonna play poker on Saturday. You want to play?
You know my answer to that.
It's not like we got 5 per. Phil Ivy's not coming to the place. It's just regular people.
I told you the problem is I don't play poker very often.
That makes it tough.
And there are people that you invite that play, I won't say weekly, but multiple times a month. Multiple times a month. And I'm not, at least I'm not entering something where I know I'm at a serious disadvantage. It's one thing, if you're betting on a sports game and there's a spread and the casino obviously feels pretty good about the spread and you can quote unquote say it's on, they already have a little bit of an edge to a certain extent, but I'm not going to go play poker when I know I'm basically a beginner, an amateur compared to some of these people.
An amateur.
Yeah.
You don't want to step into the big leagues. It's, by the way, I think mine's lower than
you just want me to donate some money. I'm good. I'm good.
I do not think that the majority of my game is people who play multiple times a month. I will say I have played in a game and described a game to you in which I was just in a photo in the last 3 weeks. Hey, look, here's this person you played with. And they
at the World Series of Poker.
They were at the World Series of Poker. And they had a big stack of money in front of them. And I was like, well, I only play. That's not the game I'm inviting you to. That person doesn't come to my house. I've just played with her. That's different. She doesn't play poker at my house. Stakes are too low. She plays, occasionally.
I already missed my opportunity because if I wanted to actually make this right, I would have thrown. You're thrown off today with the goatee. I would have shown up to that poker party with a goatee for the first time in a hat and sunglasses, and it would have thrown you out. You wouldn't know what to believe anymore.
Just be like, he's bluffing every time.
You wouldn't have known. Who is this person? But now it's too late.
That would have been the way to do it.
Oh man. Well, next time.
I'll do when we're in Vegas. If you want to play in a small poker tournament in Vegas, you kill 4 hours and you $80 entry. I'll do that when we're in Vegas. I'll do that. That's fine.
Not cash game. You're saying a tournament?
Yeah, I'll do that. They're one of the other casinos out there does a small tournament. Yeah,
figure something out. We'll be at Circa. Come see us in August.
I can't wait, man.
We cannot play Uno apparently for money, which is a total bummer.
I love that place.
Are there
already know though that
I wonder if our buddy Raj from the Ozarks is going to be out there. That's how we got the Circa Millions hat last year.
That's true. That'll be in the garage sale this year.
You already know though that if they had Uno, there would be a fight. There would be a fight that would break out at some point because you got Uno reversed and somebody lost it and just flipped out. And
that's every table game, dude. Someone gets sucked out on a poker. You think they don't get mad at the table sometimes?
Wait, what was
That's the job of a casino.
There was the one story. I think it was while you guys were there, but you weren't at the casino. The one guy just totally lost his mind and dove on the craps table and was sprawled out all over the place.
Yeah.
You're not having one of those moments?
I know what video you're talking about.
It would be one of those, you know?
Yeah, someone at a Vegas casino just went completely nuts and started throwing chips everywhere. That'll get you banned.
You think so?
Quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I feel like I'm more likely to lose it over a kid's game, I guess, though, somehow.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Uno is so simple in its nature, especially considering the fact that part of it is luck of the card. Like, how good of an Uno hand did you get? We're all operating under the same strategy. Try to eliminate the most of the one color. Play, like we're all operating in the similar strategy.
I think it's fair in terms of what else you get at a casino. Roulette is total luck. There's no skill involved. There's some skill, but it's majority luck in Uno. I think it fits.
Yeah.
You would need it to be in a separate place though, because of the reactions that people would be like.
I think I would love watching. Like when you watch like a high stakes craps table, when you watch these people like playing, you're just watching for me like, oh, that's fun. I'm just telling you right now, if there was a booth and some guy had $1,000 on the line trying to pull a rubber band off of some giant operation table, I'm in, immediately in. Like, I just imagine like the giant version of the table game, because they essentially do that into like slot machines, but I want the real game. I want you to hit the little popper with.
For sure.
I want a table, I want like a crap-sized table where I got to hit the popper and
you
the
can
dice
feel
roll
everybody
up.
just staring at you as you're doing it. Oh yeah.
Around. But I got $500 on it, and you're like, oh my God, this is intense. Imagine how much worse it hurts to hit somebody with a sorry when you kick their piece off the table when you roll that dice, when they got cash on it. Cash on it. Just knocking their piece. All right, maybe we'll play board games. Maybe that's what we should do with Bobby Witt Jr. We're asking for more Wittizens events. Do you think he likes board games? Board game night.
Board games? I have no idea.
That'd be the most random event to do with a Major League Baseball player.
Play Monopoly?
Monopoly would take too long.
It never ends. It never ends, really.
It does end.
It doesn't really, though. It just ends when someone gets upset and it's over.
It ends when everybody else quits, Yeah, for sure.
Somebody gets upset at some point in time.
Monopoly. Risk was the bigger contention one in my
Monopoly's
house.
great. Then about 2 hours in, hour and a half in, it's like, all right, I'm done. And then someone else is like, all right, you're done. Me too. And next, the whole game just falls apart.
Yeah, Risk is crazy too.
Oh man, our problem was Risk comes naturally with alliances and non-alliances and stuff like that. You're just essentially someone go to the bathroom and you've stabbed him in the back by the time they've gotten back. Decided to go after, Kamchatka.
All right, coming up next, let's talk about the Home Run Derby. If you guys are going to be watching, we'll take a look at some of the odds there. Plus, controversy about who's in the All-Star game. That's coming up next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
98 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of Kansas City has been repairing and replacing garage doors. Locally owned and operated since 1927, headquartered in Olathe. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. For same-day repair service 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. At home or at work, we'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Free trial is 7 days. If customer does not cancel prior to the end of a trial period, fees will apply.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
College days are back on the drive. Listen for MIZ Day on Wednesday, July 16th, starting at 2 o'clock on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
1 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Video stream up and running. You can also hit us up on the Jay's Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Stomach holding up still, Drew, over there? You still good? If you missed it earlier in the show, yes. Drew informed us yesterday. A little food poisoning, under the weather.
I do feel much better today than I did yesterday at this time.
And I said, without him telling, I said, must have been the Chinese buffet we've been telling you not to go to. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, you went to the Chinese buffet.
Yeah,
you can't go there, man. You just can't. Feeling?
And it wasn't even, that's the thing. It wasn't even just you guys. Like, we had, Spec came out and said something. The big boss said something as well as, what are you doing? It wasn't even like I'm glad you feel better. You know, it was why would you do that? Why would you put yourself through a Chinese buffet?
It's just one of those things. I feel like at this point in time, you should know, especially now. You should know.
You're almost 30, man. You can't be eating Chinese.
You can't be going to something. Like, I have another
stomach of a 23-year-old.
I got a good friend of mine that goes to a Chinese buffet here in town as well. I don't think it was the same one you went to. And I give him a hard time. I'm like, dude, you were playing with fire, man. You were playing with fire. And he went at like 3 p.m. one day. I'm like, what are you? That's even worse.
I guess here's part of what it is in no food consumption for me anymore. Like when I was like 20, you never stop eating. 18, you're just like hungry. I don't need all I can eat. Really, in any circumstance, I don't need all I can eat.
Normally so like the buffet, normally it's good though.
The buffet part
I haven't
of
had
it
a bad experience yet.
The buffet part of it is unappealing just due to that.
Did you hear what he said? Normally, it's pretty good. I hadn't had a bad experience yet.
And now I technically have.
So now you're done. You're done with that place?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
that place or Chinese food buffets, or with buffets in general.
He had popcorn shrimp. He said.
Isn't this
which is also funny to me? Like I'm not saying out of all things.
Here's part of the problem, though. I think if Drew's out of the buffet game, then he should probably be having a conversation about, potluck at work. What do we think? Food safety standards with the taco, like something we might set out. You got to be, he might be worried he's taking other things out of his game.
He's not bringing anything to work to eat.
No, I just meant, like in the situation where people might bring food to eat. That's
all. Right.
Look,
I don't think I'll say this.
Shrimp
Drew's obviously not quit buffets.
If there's shrimp cocktails and it's sitting out there for 5 hours, you can't eat it, Drew.
Well, okay, I'm aware now. I mean,
we ate at a buffet yesterday, and it was delightful.
Oh, that was different. That's
you and I did eat at a buffet technically yesterday.
That's different. Someone on the text line, our buddy Lance. I'm on my way to a Chinese buffet right now. I've never had a problem. Lance, I know exactly who that is. Lance. R.I.P. to your stomach.
Lance,
I guess
I'm going to help you out and every other listener that needs a great meal. Head to 30 Hop, not a buffet. Go to their $5.99 Classic Burger Mondays. Go to American Bar Kitchen. Bold flavors, locations in Lee Summit, now open in Merriam's Grand Station.
Yeah.
Just 5 minutes from the station right here. Stop in for lunch, stay for happy hour. 30hop.com. They have a massive menu, local beer, American Eats, big patio.
Yeah, patios are awesome at both spots.
Yeah. Honestly, though, we sat outside so long yesterday. I was like, I want a nice air-conditioned
AC
booth.
feels good right this second. On a nice day, though, their patios are awesome.
I do love a patio.
Yeah, so shout out to 30 Hop. But yeah, Drew, you just
I think
you and
I
your
just
wife
ran
need
into the wrong
you guys should be going to
entree.
Well, I just don't think you should go to a Chinese buffet. That's all.
I won't be going to one anytime
Someone
soon.
says, and this is where I'm at. Someone says the only time I eat at a true buffet is in Vegas, and I agree. I agree with that as well. Buffet in Vegas is a little bit different.
But hang on, how much different are we?
Just higher quality food. Most time, like higher quality food.
Right.
You know, like popcorn shrimp at random buffet in random city in Kansas City metro area on at 2:00 in the afternoon versus Las
what time
Vegas,
did you
Nevada.
go? I don't know. That is going to change my opinion of this.
Like 12:30 or 1. It was lunchtime.
Late lunch, though, man.
So it might have only been there from last night. That's true. That's better versus earlier in the day.
Well, like,
That's
best
true.
case scenario is that it's been there since like 11, 10:45, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that best case scenario?
I'm just sorry. I don't. Have you like Chinese food is amazing, by the way. Love Chinese food.
Chinese
Have
food's
you?
great.
Popcorn shrimp Chinese. It just doesn't. That's not what I'm thinking.
I'm not even sure. Maybe you didn't go to a Chinese buffet at all.
That's what I'm
Who's to say?
I mean,
I did.
Is it just me? Maybe I'm
back
way
to
off.
Vegas vacation. I think he went to that
sour.
buffet.
Maybe I'm way off. Like
I got the
popcorn shrimp at a Chinese restaurant.
I got some sweet and sour. I got there's
well,
a good
I expect
variety of
sweet
things.
Yeah, I understand like the other items.
Okay.
Someone says, aren't all casinos buffets? No.
Maybe back in the day they all had them, but
no. Like the one we're going, Circa, they don't have a buffet there at all.
though we can get brisket fried rice.
Oh, I can't. 8 East. And,
we can get lots of great food, just not buffet.
How many times are you going to get that while you guys are there? At least
Gold
once,
gets it at least twice every time we're there.
Twice?
Yeah, I'll get the
At least
I might
twice.
the first night either that or we're going to you. Well, yeah, we one of two places we're going the first night. I don't know.
Yeah, we're either going to 8 East or we're going to Barry's. We just don't know which one yet.
Yeah.
Hope to see you all out there, by the way, in Circuit in Las Vegas. Let's talk about what's happening in the NFL because there is a weird trend, but I actually don't think it makes the Chiefs look bad at all. It's just the players are trying to win a round of who blinks first, and I've never seen the players in the NFL ever win it. So I'm curious to see which way it goes because right now, 30 of the 32 second-round picks in the NFL are unsigned. 30 of 32. And this is because pick 33 signed a fully guaranteed contract for the first time in second-round pick history. And as a result of that, every other player wants a fully guaranteed deal as a second-round pick. The same as everybody in the first round gets fully guaranteed deals. We'd like to be a part of it. That guy started it. But again, he's picked 33. The one thing I'll say is I've never seen the players win this. The players used to get more money for rookie players overall. Rookies used to be able to make whatever the hell they wanted. And the players union got rid of that too. I've never seen the players actually win this. Eventually, I think pick 47 will sign, and then the dominoes will just come one after another where they're like, yeah, we're not giving you guaranteed deals. We'll give you 80% guaranteed or whatever the hell you need, but you're just going to have to risk a couple of million. Sorry.
Yeah, I think this situation is just the owners in this trying not to change the precedent, right? Like that's what that's why they're holding out, obviously. And somebody's going to have to give a little bit, and ultimately it'll be, if you're a player and you're trying to start your career now, a lot of these guys are actually in camp, so that's they're not losing development yet, but you got to be under contract to play week 1 of the NFL season. So you can go to training camp, and Norman Lott, for example, with the Chiefs, can keep practicing and not a distraction, nothing like that. But eventually they're going to have to get a deal done. Somebody's going to cave, and most likely it probably will end up being the player, unless the Texans owner screwed this up for everybody, because the Texans are the first team.
I bet they hate him
this.
right now.
Yeah, so the agent...
34, sorry, not 30.
The agent that got it done for Jaden Higgins in Houston, great news for all the other agents out there. The Texans owner that allowed it to happen, bad news for all the other owners out there. So it'll be interesting what happens ultimately, but this is a potential shift in the future, and this is not just a one-year thing. That's why the owners are holding firm, because they do this year, then this is the new precedent. And for the next 20 years, this is what's going to happen.
And now none of the other owners want to cave because they don't want to set the precedent. The problem is it goes now that they're all the way to pick 34 with a fully guaranteed contract. Pick 34 next year. We'll want a guaranteed contract. You know who else will want a guaranteed contract? Pick 35. The question is, how far down the second round do you let this get? Like, for instance, Drew, I told you earlier, I think somebody just needs to break. And that player is probably Omar Norman Lott for the Chiefs or the player behind him. We're talking about $4 million in slot money between the pick, who got the money, and him. So we're talking about a huge swing in the amount of money that those two guys are going to make, and 30 picks different. You don't get the same thing the guy 30 picks before you got. Or the Cam Ward, whose valued contract is at $48 million, well, then pick 32. Josh Simmons shouldn't be asking for 14. You just don't get the same thing as the guy who's picked 30 spots ahead of you. It doesn't work that way. So, I think it'll start from the bottom up. I actually think Omar Norman Lott will be one of the first signees because they'll find out how high they can go first before somebody eventually caves and gives a guaranteed deal and it cycles the rest of the way up.
So the Jaden Higgins deal is fully guaranteed. Is it fully guaranteed? Is that the big thing, or is it just there's guaranteed money in there? Because I think
fully guaranteed. Because the first time ever is a fully guaranteed contract.
So if you're Omar Norman Lott and you're like, yeah, I'm making $4 million less, I don't care about the money total. I just want it guaranteed. I think that's where the players are coming from.
But they don't want to guarantee it, man. They don't want to take the risk.
I know that.
What made the Texans willing to do this and kind of shift this
Common
whole thing?
for first-round picks, and they probably thought he was just close enough.
I know. But
they just screwed up the whole system.
Evidently changed
a little bit of a mistake. We're going to find out 4 years from now. There's going to be some memo. We're going to find out the Texans owner that was getting chewed out by every other owner in the NFL.
Well, let's be honest. I think a huge part of the reason why they haven't signed is not the players all banding together. I just saw in a court of law the NFL basically admit to colluding on not giving guaranteed contracts to quarterbacks after Deshaun Watson got it. I'm going to guess that this is a coordinated attack from every NFL owner to be like, hell no, Texans.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to find out. We're going to get a memo. We're going to get a memo in 4 years.
And
we're going to find out.
It's not like, again, they might have valued Higgins highly, but they drafted his teammate, Jalen Noel, the next round. They have 2 Iowa State wide receivers. So it's not like, hey, we value you so much, we need to give you this money because we know you're going to play right away, et cetera.
Maybe it was, I don't know, he's got a good agent. His agent is the same guy who reps Patrick Mahomes, so.
That helps.
Knows what he's doing.
I do think that, it's just interesting where I don't care about the money. I know I'm going to make less because I wasn't picked as high, but I still want the same amount of guarantees. I want the percentage guarantee essentially
that's usually common practice.
Someone on the text line brings up, this is the scenario of the risk of also doing what the players are doing now. So like Quinshawn Junkins, the running back for the Browns, or you guys probably saw got arrested or whatever over the weekend.
For domestic violence accusation?
Yes. I believe so. And he was picked 36, and the texter's right. Like now, you think they're giving you a fully guaranteed deal? You haven't even signed your contract yet. You think you're getting a fully guaranteed deal? So it's
bad news. Jonah Savania? How's his name pronounced, Drew? Help me out here. That's the guy who's picked 37.
Well, let me.
And the guarantees.
I need to see it.
Gotcha.
He's from Arizona, and he's a guard.
No, because I don't know. You get the point. Junkins was 36.
Savanea?
This guy was 37. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jonah Savanea.
But it does hurt the fact that, if he doesn't, it's, again, eventually, I do think that this is the way collective bargaining works. Eventually, there's more money to go around, and then maybe more guys will get more guarantees. In the NFL in particular, I actually don't blame the players if they just want to take a stand, because the average NFL career is still just 3.5 years. The only money you are likely to get as an NFL player, as anyone drafted, all the money you are likely to get for your entire NFL career is right now. You are statistically more likely to just get this and nothing else. Yeah. So to get the $11 million guaranteed is really important to you. It's not that important to the owners, because what we're talking about is the difference between 80 and 90% guaranteed, 70, 80, 90, we're talking, I'm not saying it's not nothing, but we're talking about a couple $1 million, not.
And to your point, though, for that you made earlier, Cody, the money's not big enough where it's like you're not giving Taysom Hill guaranteed sort of money, where it's whatever he made, $40 million. Is that what it was?
Like that.
But you're penny pinching how much money actually? Up $2 million over the course of it.
You got to remember,
$2 million every year.
This is not just about this year, though. This is about changing precedent. That's why this is something that will firmly change what they guarantee for many, many, many years, forever, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. It's not just about the $2 million this year. It's about, for the next 20 years,
Going
how many
forward.
guaranteed contracts. All right, Home Run Derby tonight. You guys watching this thing tonight? So fill in the field, obviously. Cal Raleigh, who's got 38 home runs in the first half. You got James Wood, Buxton, O'Neal Cruz, Caminero, Matt Olson, Brent Rooker, Jazz Chisholm. That's your field. There's more AL contenders than NL contenders this year. 7 of the last 10 years, NL guy has won the Home Run Derby. It's in Atlanta. That means
AL heavy derby this year, though, right?
Yeah, that means Matt Olson, Cody, is the lone Brave in his home park, but he fills in for Ronald Acuna Jr. The favorite is Cal Raleigh, slightly over at FanDuel, 3-1. O'Neal Cruz for the Pirates is plus 310. James Wood plus 370. Buxton 8.5-1. You guys gonna be making any bets on this thing? There's a couple that I think are interesting. Like, I want James Wood to win. That he'll have a bet.
Why do you want him to win? You got cards on?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, do I have a card of his? Sure, but nothing that's worth anything.
Okay.
It's more. I actually think people. He's a future star in this league. I
So
think
you're saying win the derby?
Yeah, this
raise
is his
the
launching
profile.
point. He's on a bad franchise right now.
Okay,
I think
sure.
he's a hell of a baseball player. Another name that nationally people probably don't know. So yeah,
So he started the Wittizens,
and he was a rookie last year, so this is only his second year in the league. But James Wood. Now, there's some fun bets too. We can get into those. But who are you picking to win?
I'll be honest. I think every once in a while, not every year. I certainly wouldn't do this every year. I normally do some sort of thing on the Home Run Derby. I think typically when you're just having like one of those magical years, it just continues in this. So my bet is Cal Raleigh. It feels like the Hamilton year, not for the same reasons. Obviously, his was more he came back from a top player prospect and did all this stuff. It just feels like everything's turning up Cal Raleigh this year. And I know that that's a weird way to wager it. He also leads the league.
Yeah, I mean, he's a favorite for a reason.
It's not like he's not hammering it. I like Cal Raleigh to actually win it. We'll see if the stamina part is always interesting. People always underestimate. Because in that year, Josh Hamilton hit 28 or whatever in that round in New York King Stadium. He didn't win
wore
it.
himself out, yeah.
Justin Morneau.
Yeah.
Justin Morneau, of all people, won the home run derby that year. And I'm not sure why I remember that's who won it, but that's who won it. And so I like Cal Raleigh tonight. I wouldn't be, would I be interested or whatever?
Are they still doing it like the bracket?
Yes.
Format? Okay.
Yeah, it's the same as last year. The bet that I actually kind of like, it's fun. So player to hit the home run with the highest exit velocity. So O'Neal Cruz is the favorite because he can destroy baseball. Minus 175. This is a 2-horse race. It is O'Neal Cruz or James Wood. So because of that, I think it's Cruz probably wins, but I have a flyer on James Wood at plus 330. It's him or Cruz. The only competition for this is those two. There's no way Byron Buxton or Cal Raleigh is going to have the highest exit. It is O'Neal Cruz or James Wood. So pick you minus 175 on Cruz, or go ahead and bet James Wood at plus 3.5. Basically,
I'm going with an upset. I'm going to go Matt Olson wins it.
Oh, the hometown guy, or at least his home stadium.
Wait, the last minute edition guy, huh?
Matt Olson,
because he's only in because Acuna dropped.
Correct.
Right?
He's 9.5 to 1.
Of course.
He has 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth best odds. He's ahead of Caminero, Brent Rooker, and Jazz Chisholm.
Barely ahead of him.
The fun one is to make the finals. Like you can get
Rooker
O'Neal
would be my long shot, by the way.
To make the finals.
He can hit it.
Brent Rooker to make the finals 4.5 to 1.
I like that.
O'Neal Cruz plus 152 to be in the final, or James Wood. As you can tell, I'm kind of on that. I'm in that James Wood, O'Neal Cruz. One of those guys is winning it. That's where I'm at targeting some bets tonight.
I might do a Brent Rooker on just to make the final. He's the kind of guy who, when he gets hot, he can hit some homers.
Semifinals, Brent Rooker plus 128. Still plus money if you think he just gets there.
All right.
League of the winner, as I said, NL has won 7 of the last 10, but there's more American League contestants. American League is minus 122 to win the Home Run Derby tonight, National League.
I feel like you gotta like those odds just because there's more players.
Well, exactly.
That's
why the AL's
if you're going to bet it, then do the AL. Yeah,
that's why the AL's a slight favorite. Yeah.
Is Buxton how many does Buxton have 20 plus again? I think that was the first season where he's the fastest to 20 he's ever been.
He's at 21 right now, as long as he doesn't hurt himself during the Derby. But he's got 21.
Jeez.
What?
He has a bit of a history of getting hurt, doesn't he?
A bit of a history?
He does, yes.
Oh, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to.
What, are you going to run into him? You think he's going to remember said that you were injury prone?
No,
Byron Buxton's going to approach you on the street?
That's right.
Say, I heard what you said about my injury. Be like, yeah, me and everybody else, Byron. It's a pretty
I like
well-known
Byron
fact.
Buxton. I like Byron Buxton.
He actually is he seems like a good dude. He's a
I'm sure he's a very nice person.
Very talented baseball player.
If you feel bad for those
When he's on
people
the
who are injured and you can
As long as Jazz Chisholm doesn't do something tonight, I can't stand that.
I don't think anybody conceivably. It's not just us. It's anybody. I don't think anybody wants to see Jazz Chisholm win the home run derby.
I gotta say,
other than Yankees fans, maybe.
If I were the Twins, this might be the only player. If I were the Twins, I wouldn't let Buxton do it. Hey man, this is no. I'm just looking back. I was like,
he's
history.
Always hurt.
He has only played in 100 games twice in his career. Once in 2017.
Why do you think I made the comment about him? Don't get hurt swinging the bat at the Derby.
And he's on pace.
And once in 2024 when he played 102. He is on pace to play the most games he's ever played, or close to the most.
He's turned the corner.
No, he's 31. Turn the corner. He's been struck by by lightning 15 times, and he's like, but now I'm not, so I'm probably
really
fine.
31? Is he that old now?
31 years old.
Man.
Honestly, impressive that the Twins have hung with him 11 years, knowing that he can't stay on the field. Normally, teams give up on an injury-prone player, and some other team takes the chance
depending on how
he'll be our, we'll get him healthy.
They finished the pre-All-Star break a little bit better. There was a time where they were falling way off, and people thought that Byron Buxton would be a trade candidate, but I don't know if that's still the case.
Where are they at in the standings? They're still below 500.
They're ahead of the Royals by a half game, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, it just depends on, and teams are in different parts of their staging. The Royals are in the win now mode.
For sure.
That's why they pay Bobby Witt Jr. Like, I don't know if the Twins are organizationally there. I can tell you the Royals, even though they're half game back, they are definitely into win now. They're not like messing around. They are, half game back. The division is still really tight. Second, third, and fourth.
So says Buxton hit for the cycle this week? Really?
Royals haven't had anyone hit to the cycle since 1990.
Yeah, that's been a very long time.
Drew, I'm not making
He did it.
George Brett.
Yeah, he did it 2 days ago against the Pirates, Cody.
Dang, all right.
1990.
He had a see hit for the cycle 2 days ago.
How come we didn't hear about that? You would think
Happened over the weekend, and it's a Minnesota Twin.
This is a great point on the home run derby tonight. I do hope that something leads to Michael Garcia and Jazz Chisholm getting in a all-star, home run.
They won't.
Game.
Yeah, they won't. That won't happen.
Can I get one dirty look?
That won't happen.
Can I get one dirty look? They don't like each other.
I know.
They made that very clear.
They're not going to fight each other.
Where do you guys think Cags would have ranked amongst the field?
Odds
He would have
wise,
been second to third favorite.
Somebody texted in.
He would probably have James
still a
Wood.
derby.
He'd have James Wood odds. He'd be at 3-1 or something.
Yep. He'd have a pretty good chance to do it. This goes back to the Jacob Mizorowski stuff, which is, I'd have been fine if they put, you'd be like, well, he's only hitting 150. I don't care. He hits the ball really far. This is a contest for entertainment. But the Mizorowski thing doesn't bother me either because the league has to balance. They have to promote players who are interested.
Yeah, so I'm fine with it. I know people are upset. I don't agree with the Cags comp only because Mizorowski's also performing. Not only a small sample size, but he's also performing. Whereas Caglione is small sample size and he's not hitting well. So that's why I don't like the comp. But as far as Mizorowski getting into the All-Star game with only 5 appearances, it's an exhibition game. Yeah, it's 5 outings. He's been electric. He's got a personality. Showcase your stars. He was also not the first, second, third, fourth alternate. He was like the 7th alternate, if not more, when you have some pitchers that pitched yesterday, so they're not available, some that are dealing with injury, not available, some just want to be fresh for the second half, not available. So I love it for baseball. I know there's a lot of diehard old school people that are upset and hold the All-Star game to be this very, very, very sacred thing still. And that's fine. I understand. But I look at this, baseball should be marketing its stars, and Mizorowski, much like Skeens last year, is potentially that. Skeens got 11 outings last year before he started the All-Star game. This is only 5, so it is less. I don't know what would have been the amount where people would have been cool with it? 9? Did he need to do 11 as well? Last
11,
year?
and I don't know why anyone would complain about Skeens based on the star he is.
So that's why I guess my question is,
double
if
digits?
it would have been 5 more outings, would everybody be cool? Okay, so we're talking about 5 outings.
I guess if
5
they
weeks of
weren't-
baseball.
if
Less
they
than 5 weeks of baseball.
If they weren't 30th down on the alternate list, I'd feel worse.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was feeling bad for Michael Garcia because he should have been the 3rd guy down, and they were down to 4, and they weren't choosing him. And you're like, okay, that's not good. By all accounting, the reports are suggesting they were on alternate 12. Sorry that you weren't good enough to be alternate 13. Very difficult to feel bad for that situation knowing it. And I do think that this is a thing that we talk about all the time. A sentence that has been uttered on every show I've ever heard, nationally or locally, is baseball doesn't advertise their stars.
Here we go.
They're advertising a star, maybe a future star. Look, maybe Mizorowski isn't yet. We don't know.
He's
But
fun to watch.
Yeah.
But that's every person you advertise doesn't stay the star forever, but you have to get people interested in them when they're young. This goes back to like our Wittizens event. Bobby Witt Jr. is a very popular player. Major League Baseball still worries that people don't know who Bobby Witt Jr. is. They worry that people don't know who Aaron Judge are or Shohei Ohtani. So if you're worried that those players still don't have enough name cachet that you want, start young, start early, and especially start with players that have a personality or have a desire to promote themselves. Start anywhere you can. And Mizorowski makes the game more interesting. He just does.
What is he, like 6'7", throws 102, 103, which 6'7" on the mound, I would assume makes you look like you're 7'1" or something like that. You look like an NBA player. You're ready to dunk a basketball. Instead, you're throwing triple-digit heat.
Yeah, it's just, and look, in baseball, guys who throw 100 miles an hour are fun. It's the pitcher version of the guy who hits the ball over the fence. Guys who throw 102 miles an hour will always, always, always bring attention. That's what I always feel like just kind of stands out about it. But it's still good overall. Somebody said they hope maybe Mike Kell can this would happen over on the chat. On the video streams, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, you can watch the show live. Somebody said, okay, maybe not a fight, but could Jazz Chisholm just hit 0 home runs tonight, and then we could get a cutaway to Michael Garcia just looking really happy about it? What do you think? Would that do for you, Gold? Just like Michael seems like he's in such a great mood while Jazz Chisholm goes for 0.
They cut to him and he's just laughing.
And then Michael hits a home run in the All-Star game, and then Jazz Chisholm's got to give him a high five or has to just deal with the fact that, Michael hit a homer.
That'd be great. It really would. So home run derby tonight. Be watching. It's also, after the first round, it's also good background watching tonight,
Who's doing the call? Is it Ravitch still?
Probably.
I think Berman said he'd be interested in doing it. Back.
We can move on from Berman at this point.
Honestly, when you're hitting
classic at the
200
time,
home runs, though, it's too much.
Yeah, like classic, obviously, Berman, we all grew up watching and listening, but I don't need him back in the All-Star game or derby coverage or anything like that. That's all. All right, up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll talk more about what Patrick Mahomes said when it comes to Arrowhead and how he feels about that and maybe impacting its stadium future. Next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Gold and I just earlier were talking about sitting out on a patio. How about sitting outside on your deck? Some really nice weather coming up at the end of this week. It's so nice to sit out on my multiple decks. And when I needed repairs or replacements, I knew who to call. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price. You can see online at allweatherdecks.net the services that they provide. Wood decks, composites, covered decks, outdoor kitchens, patios. If you got an outdoor project, they'll take care of it for you. Look, they're a 24-time winner of Angie's List Super Service Award for a reason. And the reason why they're Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Let them dream or build your dream deck and take a look at some of the pictures yourself, some of the reviews yourself, and see for yourself in their showroom and get a free estimate today. Go to allweatherdecks.net or give them a call. 913-206-1974.
Alex. Hello. We've been trying to track you down. I don't know if you've noticed that. Do you have any idea why?
Something to do with the radio thing.
Every month we're doing a giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Giveaway? What you giving away, man?
$25,000.
Alex Jackson of Pensacola, Florida is the latest winner of Give Me the Vin's Big Cash Giveaway.
Are you for real?
Every time that you sell a car to Give Me the Vin, you go into a drawing for that month. And dude, you won.
That's great, man. I'm having a baby boy in about 3 months. That's a lot of diapers, man.
Name him John Clay.
Okay.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM. DKNG.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
It's summertime, and I love being outside, hanging out, doing all of those great outdoor activities. But if you have knee, hip, or shoulder pain and it's not getting any better, and you're stuck in a cycle of steroid shots, and now they're talking about surgery, slow down a minute. I may have the solution for you. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and my friends at QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine, using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. And the best part about it is there's no meds, there's no surgery. It's advanced cellular therapy. These aren't Band-Aids. We're not masking the pain. It goes right to the root of the problem. And the best part is you can get a free second opinion. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. And it doesn't cost anything. So call QC Kinetics today, 816-412-6299, off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. Saturday appointments available. It's QC Kinetics.
Hey, it's Gold, and Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week, 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread, last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. 11 elite classes pulling on 2 tracks, featuring diesel pickups and semis battling it out for supremacy. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. The Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the action starts at 7 p.m. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. What's trending?
Number one on what's trending, the Royals head into the All-Star break. 47-50 on the season. That's 4.5 out of a playoff spot. They, of course, salvaged one game of that series against the Mets yesterday. Walk-off fashion. Noah Cameron continues to be one of the bright stars in all of baseball here in the first half of the season. 6 2/3 of an inning shutout baseball yesterday.
Also, Michael Lorenzen is a part of that, is heading to the IL, the 15-day IL, if he only sticks retroactive to the 11th. So if he only sticks to that, he'll be back before the All-Star break. But another thing to monitor for the Royals when they end up coming out of the break. Next up on what's trending, the MLB draft taking place right now. The Royals had 2 first-round selections yesterday. One was kind of like a squeeze pick for the Bobby Witt Jr. finish in the MVP. They got Sean Gamble with pick 23 and Josh Hammond with pick 28. Hammond above slot, Gamble a little below. Did a little more cost saving, I think, in some of the later rounds here today as well. I would probably be doing a little bit of a disservice pretending like I know how good of players they are. They're both prep kids, both very young players, probably a few years before we get to see them here in Kansas City. Sean Gamble is a second baseman outfielder that people think might stick at second base or a corner outfield spot. And then, of course, Hammond, a two-way player who currently people project to be a third baseman in the big leagues, but also throws 95, 96 miles per hour in high school as a pitcher.
Elsewhere on what's trending, the 49ers need to figure something out with wide receiver Juwan Jennings. According to Adam Schefter, he wants a new deal or, of course, hey, trade me. He's got $7.5 million scheduled for this year, final year of his deal. He had a nice season a year ago. Wants to get paid. This is a tactic, obviously, intentionally putting this out there a week before training camp starts up to try to put some pressure on the organization.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't blame him for that. It makes sense, obviously, on that end. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. He's 28 years old, and he's had one good year in the NFL. It's a good time to try to get paid, Gold, if you can get paid. But if I'm the 49ers, I just make him, put up, numbers. Put up numbers. You'll get paid in free agency anyway. But don't put up numbers. We're not giving you a new deal. Also, how much of a good deal do you want? You don't want to be paid like a top 20 wide receiver, I hope, because that ain't happening, Juwan Jennings. Next up on what's trending, John Elway will not face charges related to the death of his longtime friend and business partner, Jeff Spurbeck, who died in April from injuries he suffered when he fell off a golf cart being driven by John Elway. You might remember the tragic accident that took place. They were investigating at the time. It didn't make it sound like anything foul was taking place in that case, but officially will not face charges as part of that. Horrifying story. They've known each other or been in business partnership for 30 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really, really sad news back from April.
Lastly on what's trending, Greg McElroy, citing a notable source, says that source is telling him Nick Saban will coach college football again. Remember, Nick Saban turned 74 in October. All right, it's been 18 months since Nick Saban announced his retirement. Remember, he's been doing the whole college football game day stuff and everything. But Greg McElroy was on the Mac and Cube show.
Yeah, they host that down in
Birmingham. Mac Maury? Former
Greg, Cube?
As in Mac
a three-dimensional square?
No, as in Greg McElroy.
Cole Kubelik.
Yeah. But anyway, he spoke to someone who's adamant Nick Saban will return to the college football ranks.
And maybe it's either it's actually in a proper way, or it's what we discussed a couple months ago, where he just goes and he's salvaging and saving a program like the Bartender Rescue show.
I will say
that might be what's actually happening.
Said the
Bar
name,
Rescue. John Taffer.
You said the name. I don't even remember what the first name was. Steve Kubilak. I was supposed to know who that was. Am I supposed to know who the hell that is? Cole Kubilak?
He does college football coverage.
He does college football coverage for the SEC and SEC Network and ESPN. And
I don't think he's a household name, though. I do not.
Not my household.
No. He is. I think.
I certainly didn't know his nickname was Cube.
If you live south of,
he could walk in here. I wouldn't know him. I've heard the name before. He could walk right in, and I wouldn't know.
If you live south of, if you live anywhere southeast of Columbia, Missouri. Maybe people in Columbia know him because he talks about Missouri.
It's south of here. Columbia's not much further
southeast part of the country probably knows him, but he does radio with Greg McElroy in the morning.
Nashville or something for your example. I felt like Columbia.
I was going to say Knoxville, anywhere in Knoxville and south of Knoxville, but I wanted to include the Missouri Tigers in there because they're part of the SEC.
Have you been? That's what's trending, by the way. Have you been? How many SEC stadiums have you been to?
How many SEC stadiums?
Yeah.
I know he's been to Missouri State, but
okay.
they're in the SEC.
That's not SEC.
Actually been to see, I have been to one? I think I've only been to one.
Hold on. That's it? You lived in the South.
I know. I lived in Pensacola, which is I didn't
SEC country, man.
No, I understand that.
Columbia is an SEC market, and that's not that far away.
I understand.
Conference USA stadiums.
In fairness, where I was at, the D2 team that won it was very competitive nationally. Also played at the same time as a lot of these schools. So I was busy going to University of West Florida games compared to SEC games. I had stuff to do, but I've been to Gainesville.
Are you going to go to? You're going to Columbia this year, right? You think?
I'm going to Columbia. I'm going to Springfield to go to a Missouri State game.
Okay, all right. Shout out to them.
And then I'm hoping to also get to a KU K-State game, maybe a Nebraska game.
Okay.
It's going to be the college football. It's going to be Drew's college football tour.
You should, man. You should do it. I'm surprised you'd only been to one SEC. I've only been to 2.
0, 1.
I've been.
I guess
3.
They weren't
3.
the
I guess
SEC
3. Yeah, they weren't exactly. I guess 3 now, but A&M. I still think that was Kyle Field. When I lived in Houston, it wasn't a far drive. It was like 2-hour drive. That was cool. Now the whole like Texas A&M like Colt thing they got going on there is very weird. But the stadium, 100,000, and it like the press box shakes. It's pretty darn cool. It's a pretty cool environment. But I've only been to Kyle Field and then obviously Faroe Field.
I think I've been
I'm missing
to
another one. I'm drawing a blank. Holy cow.
Where they're playing Mo Bamba in Kyle Field.
I think I've been to 2 college football games.
Someone says we shouldn't be surprised, Drew. He hasn't been to Arrowhead yet. We shouldn't be surprised he hasn't been to SEC Stadium.
Right. Will you go to Arrowhead this year?
Please.
Make a promise on this show.
So I can stop bringing it up.
Again, I have to go as a fan.
I agree.
So there's things that have to fall into place for that to happen.
Hey, somebody on the text line got a ticket for Drew. One ticket.
One random regular season Chiefs game. Can you have Drew tag along and show him how it's done?
I don't care if it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that a home game or road game this year?
That's on the road.
It could be the worst game on the Chiefs schedule. Colts. He could go watch Anthony Richardson.
Daniel Jones, actually.
Daniel Jones, dial it up. Whoever the hell's going to start.
I think it'll be Daniel Jones week 1.
Is that the worst home
game? Starting. Colts' worst home game. Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
It's a crazy good home slate. That's part of it.
Amazing schedule at home. It really is. But Drew has to finally go. I mean, for crying out loud.
Anybody else keep checking their phone to see if
you
Trey
can
Smith
take him to a Chinese buffet before the game and everything. No tailgating.
Hey,
what Chinese buffet is there one near the stadium?
His body can't react any worse than what it did this weekend when he went to one.
They can build one next to the burnt down Denny's.
Someone said, with that Creole accent, how have you not been to an LSU game? I talked about LSU a lot. I never went to Baton Rouge. I would love to go to an LSU night game. Is absolutely.
I would like to go there as well.
That might be a top 5 on the bucket list. Sports period, like Olympics.
I missed my opportunity to go there when I was in Houston. Obviously, Louisiana is a neighboring state. It's not a terrible drive to Baton Rouge. It's a drive, but not a terrible one. That was my best chance to go. There's a ton of LSU fans in Houston.
I got to say, the only 2 bad games at Arrowhead this year are the Indianapolis Colts and the Raiders.
Yeah, at least that's a divisional game.
Colts are definitively worse than the Raiders, I would say.
Yeah,
fine. I'm saying those are the only 2, I'd say, somewhat uninteresting home games.
I got you.
And the Raiders only uninteresting because they've been a doormat for a while. They are still a divisional game, so they're ahead of the Colts on that.
Someone's asking if I'm anti-Arrowhead. I'm not anti-Arrowhead. I just wish
People are asking.
I just wish that every
People
now and
wondering.
He's not going until they tear that abomination down, is what he told us in the break.
No,
I can't
didn't.
believe it. That's exactly word for word what Drew said.
I just wish that they would have on like a Thursday night game, or they would have a color rush.
Oh my gosh!
Jersey with the white out. I mean, come on now, y'all.
Your excuse for not going is because they don't have color rush jerseys, and you want them to have a white out. This isn't college football. There's no gimmicks needed.
They'll have the color rush version in a couple of years. They can go in 4 years or whenever they'll finally get their choice at the City Connects, essentially, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I keep checking my phone, seeing if Trey Smith.
No, we were very.
I keep checking my phone to see if Trey Smith signed a contract. We're not getting anywhere.
That's going to be great. And no, I'm not going to wear a Bengals jersey when I go to I am not that level of stupid. Even though the text line claims that I am not a level of stupid where I would go to a Colts Chiefs game and wear a Bengals jersey. That's embarrassing behavior.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Chiefs game and it doesn't matter who they play.
You mentioned Arrowhead.
Just go.
Do you think that Patrick Mahomes saying, I love playing at Arrowhead, when asked about the stadium stuff, let's say Patrick Mahomes, let's just take it at his word. He really does love Arrowhead and wants to be there forever. He's told Clark, I don't want to leave. I love it here. The atmosphere, the vibe, it's great. I don't want to go anywhere. Would that have any impact in their decision making in this?
No.
I think there's part of the internal part where Mark Donovan is a very smart business person and says new stadium makes sense. And Clark is also a very good business person, but has emotional attachment to his father's legacy and is less likely to want to sell the team. And then there's kind of like not an impasse. There's a little bit of an internal back and forth a little bit where do you choose business over heart in some ways? Because the business of Arrowhead is limited only to the inside stadium stuff. Doing this renovation will bring no additional resources other than some suites. It's not going to but that's a limit, right? You're not putting any new infrastructure around there. You're not putting any new businesses. Yeah. You get a little more inside the stadium, but not a ton. It feels, and this is why you and I think a new stadium makes more sense, but I just didn't know Patrick Mahomes having any impact.
I don't think he has an impact in terms of them deciding to go anywhere. In fact, I would say his level of play and the franchise's success is opened up opportunity for the new stadium if in fact they choose that, although nobody really knows. Although there seems to be momentum to renovating Arrowhead at this point in time, but no, I don't think your quarterback is swaying you on what stadium you're going to build or not build or whatever. Also, because fast forward when this renovation is done or a new stadium is done, 4 or 5 years from now, Patrick Mahomes will be 35 years old. I mean, he's gonna be playing in a renovated Arrowhead or a brand new stadium for 4 or 5 years, depending on how long you think his career goes. Yeah. So you don't make a decision like that. This is you're right on the Clark Hunt side of it is more of the emotional ties too with his father and everything. But in general, you operate like a business. You're going to do what's best for you business wise as well. You don't let. Despite how great Mahomes is, you don't change your decision because your quarterback says I want to play outdoors. I don't, not when he's playing there for 4 years and you got to deal with the stadium for another 25, 30, 50 years.
I will say, I don't want to talk stadium after the first game of the season if they haven't decided by then. Just get at me
for the
when
Chiefs,
you decide.
Because the Royals season will be over at some point and then you'll. Yeah. I hear you. Look, I've told you I don't think
by
we're getting a
September
Chiefs.
5th or whatever I'm out for a bit. Talk to me in 2026 when you actually come to a decision, because that July timeline that they had originally mentioned for the Royals, that seems long gone.
Oh, I don't think we're getting anything from either team until at the earliest the fall, and I still think that's even optimistic. Earliest fall. I really think it's probably going to be closer to the end of the year.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem.
And if the Chiefs choose the renovation path, we got to wait till April for a vote.
Do you?
If they choose renovation, April would be the vote. That's what they're saying now, at least as of now. April, man, that'll be 2 years after. That'll be 2 years after the original vote.
And I don't know how the money works in this. Man. If Lucas has said that they can unlock money without getting a vote for the Royals, why can't he just do that for the Chiefs?
He has alluded to that as far as like that there's still some funding mechanisms they can maybe help out with. But I believe Jackson County, I don't know, it wouldn't be their constitution, but their I don't know what
charter?
I don't know what the right terminology is to use there, but
commandments, whatever they call them.
Sure. I believe it's required to, if you're raising taxes or whatever, you have to have a vote in Jackson County.
Do you think we'll get through the rest of this show without me running for public office? We've joked about it probably 15 times on this
I think you ruined your chance of that. Your campaign a long time ago with things that have been said on the show.
Which ones?
Let me go through the drops real quick. Let me see. I mean, talking about.
You don't think I can win a school board spot? His wife did an excellent job.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, that's probably not a good way to handle the campaign. Talking about people's wives, that's probably not good. That would be a problem, I think, initially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm measure your neck for this. I'm just going to take off work for these pills.
Yeah, I mean, what pills?
that one's
pretty damning.
This could help you.
I do like beef.
I mean, that could help you.
That's Midwest.
Big for the Midwest.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this...
Because there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, can you imagine that an ad going back? Someone's gonna say, "Yes, there is, Cody Tapp. Yes, there is."
No, I would say this: your campaign. It might.
I know I'm old.
The topic of the drops would maybe hurt your case, but I think in terms of a marketing campaign, there wouldn't be one out there that's better for you to try to get some attention than this.
I am not a professional.
Yes.
I can see myself in a debate already.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
The first rebuttal to something that somebody else says that he disagrees with.
Yeah, there's an ace up the hole. That doesn't seem so bad. I am not a professional. I don't even remember what I was saying.
I don't either. But yeah,
most of the time, after time passes on these drops, I'm like, what? He just gave him like one good tug. Why do we save these? They make us sound so bad.
Yeah, I don't think your political career is going to take off.
There should be. I don't know if you guys want me to do this during a fan club at some point. We should have a out of context segment for like 5 minutes, where there's just drops played.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want it to be
That
like.
also might get us in trouble. I don't know.
I
if
want
people
it to
wanna
be
hear
like like what do you meme? And essentially, you give us a contest of this is the category. I need you to find the best drop for said category, and then put us to.
It's a new version of Cody or Gold that we used to play. On the show.
It's a slightly different version of Cody or
I
Gold.
like that.
In which we used to alter our voices, and they had to guess which one of us had the really, really, really bad thing. Well, I'm glad I could, I guess, say a lot of stupid things on the radio over the course of it. Drew's got a couple, too.
Yes, I do. Yep. I will not be playing those. You
No.
guys can if you want to.
No, that's okay. We'll let it go today.
Yeah.
You're
We'll save
bad
that for
enough.
another time.
You've already got stomach issues today. I don't want to pick on you.
Yeah,
I'm
you already
I'm
made
better-
a mistake
I'm
going
better
and getting
today.
popcorn shrimp from a Chinese buffet.
But I
man.
did. Okay, I didn't go there with the intention of getting popcorn shrimp though. It was just there.
And you thought, can't resist a good popcorn shrimp.
Well, I thought it was good.
What else did you get? Are you sure? Is the shrimp that undid you? What was the main course?
I got sweet and sour chicken. Some chicken and broccoli, some lo mein. You get a variety of different things.
Somebody pointed out, man, sometimes on the buffets, it's the veggie that gets you,
Ooh.
Those have got to be kept at the right temp. Sometimes it's,
Everything
sometimes
was
it's those.
warm that I had. Everything was warm.
Just the way you said that, that's just another out of context drop, technically. That just, no matter, like, sometimes.
Wait, hold on. How is that? All right.
Just
All
out
right.
of context. It's funny. This is the problem with some of these things were in a normal sentence, and I have been, it's been rigged to make me sound like I'm a crazy person.
Yeah.
But, like, some of these were totally normal things when I said them.
Sure.
I swear. Oh, man. Anyway, people are now talking about pizza buffets over on the.
Oh, I haven't had a pizza buffet in a very long time.
Like Cece's Pizza?
Did I tell you guys? Book It is
Pizza
back.
Street?
My kids have both earned a personal pan pizza from because of the Book It
Really?
program. Book It's back.
Nice.
Just
Good.
track it online.
That makes sense.
Yeah, just tracking a little app. I'm sure they're like selling my dad.
How many books do you have to?
overseas
How
or
many
whatever.
books do you have to read for the or chapters do you have to read for the free pan pizza?
I think they have to do. What was it? I have to look it up again.
100 what?
100 minutes maybe or
100
something.
Okay, it's timing. Okay.
Well, it's like by day, but you can put it out. Let's see. They want you to read 10 out of the 10 out of the 31
10
days
days
of the month. Yeah,
10 days get you a pan pizza.
And they did it for.
There's some adults that could use
They
this
did
too.
it
I
for.
think.
They did it for June and July.
Yeah.
So like you got a couple of opportunities to get more than you could get more than one, which I thought was huge. There's no adults, so I just warning you now that you can't get one gold.
Darn.
I know it's a real shame, but it just kind of is what it is, man. No pan pizza for you.
Someone says pizza buffet more safe than Chinese buffet. I mean, I would agree with that.
That would make sense. Yeah.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound way out of.
Pizza, the ingredients just aren't going to be as susceptible for some problems, I feel like, as the Chinese food.
I don't feel like I've gotten food poisoning in a long time. Drew's.
I've gotten it twice in the last 3 months. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
you got it a different time,
dude. Yeah, I mean,
Where'd
that's
you get it the
no,
other time?
So
a different buffet.
The other time was I think
Maybe
that
he's like allergic to dairy or something.
no,
like
no,
lactose intolerant.
No, the last time I got it, I believe it was fast food. As I was eating it, I was like, I don't know, something about this tastes a little bit different than normal.
Don't say the restaurant, but what was the food?
Chicken tenders.
That could be any restaurant. That's perfect. You ever get in trouble?
Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
Chicken tenders, you thought? So you think they were
As
raw?
I was, yes, it tasted not as crispy as they normally do, and I was like, I don't know, something about this is a little bit.
Some raw chicken.
And then the next day, sure enough, that was
salmonella.
That was vehemently worse than what I just experienced yesterday from the Chinese food, the chicken tenders.
Food poisoning from chicken tender. That's
a wild. Although, what was the food you got?
Unless there was something else, but I think it was the tenders.
Oh, dude, that was also a chicken sandwich.
I believe that was a chicken sandwich.
Oh my goodness, that was Arizona the week of the Super Bowl. The first 2 days of 3 days of the trip, I was MIA.
Boy.
I did the show the one day, and you guys
We
were
had to send you home
"Sit,
because
go
you were going
home."
to get the rest of us sick.